What's up, BL?
Thank you, BL.
What's up, Iterator? Paul, Lala Meloso.
Paul?
Kill Jadis. Michelle Sweat. Lee B. Fargo.
Yeah, Lee B, this is Sonny. All of our stuff is 100% original now. And yeah, that's all from Cousin Sonny. It's okay, Atticus. We're going to make you anyways, buddy.
What's up, Running Bear?
Hey, Tim. Fargo, we didn't get an email from you this week, buddy. Wanted to make you too.
All right.
All right, Sad Sacks Unite. Here we go. Let's do episode number 235 of Raiders Fan Radio.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, look at the top, a leaping top, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, high running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
So I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio, hosted by Murph, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. Take it away, guys.
Murph and Sonny.
Oh, that was the wrong one. Oh, here it is.
But I was
Just
going
for
to
old
the
time's
station
sake.
to pick up some power converters.
Sad sack.
It's really unfair. It's my team. It's my quarterback.
Sad sack.
I'll be lying if I say that it didn't bother me.
Sad sack.
Sometimes emotions is what makes a person.
Sad sack.
Promised Mess I wouldn't do this. But, as I said, there comes a time when
Sad sack.
Oh, I just changed my shirt. My chicken!
Sad sack.
I'm not a sad sack, am I?
You complete me.
Sad sack. All right, welcome to episode number 235 of Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate everybody joining us here tonight in the chat. What's up, Swag Jeff? You got a look on your face.
Well, your camera.
There's something going on with my camera?
Yeah, your camera's all black and white.
Oh,
with
look at that. Ooh, it's like a freaking Who concert from 1968 up in here.
Wow,
Check that out.
Well, yeah, and it's just like
it's
like that on the YouTube too.
It is? Okay, well, I'll have to reset my camera here in a minute.
Or don't.
Or I'll just go with this.
Yeah, this season was trippy, man.
This is hey, man, if you've had edibles tonight, this is what I look like. Okay, yeah, a little extra fun for you. All right, but anyway, so I'll figure that out as we go.
Yeah, you will.
First, let me just jump into this. Welcome to episode number of 235 of Raiders Fan Radio. I appreciate everybody joining us live here in the Fan Cave for what will be a Sad Sack United episode as we all lament the idea of the Raiders season being over, us losing to the Bengals of all teams in the freaking playoffs as they earn their first playoff win since 1990 because only a sad sack fan base could lose to a sad sackier fan base like the Bengals. So, but anyways, we're all in it together, and it's still La Familia. It's still Raider Nation, and we still yell it proudly. But we will we'll go ahead and run through what that game was like. Here at the show, we're going to also get about some respect tonight. We're going to do some season awards, and then, of course, we're going to hear from you, Raider Nation, in the Sea of Fans mailbag. More of you and less of us is a good thing. But listen, I'm not doing this show alone tonight. Uncle Mosh is out. We miss Uncle Mosh, and
Yes.
and prayers up and well wishes to Aunt Kathy, who has the COVIDs, and Mosh is at home quarantining. But it is myself tonight, and my best friend in the world, and yours, the man that adorns the Southern Annex of the Western Annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk, the one and only Swag Jeff.
Yeah, man.
What's up, Swaggo?
What's up, man? We're sad sacking a little bit, but there's silver linings, because
Silver and black linings?
Silver and black linings because, with the way the season went, we really had no reason to be there.
You know what?
You know what
that's
I mean?
Not a bad point.
And, and that's kind of what, of course, everyone sad sacked on Saturday night. But I kind of woke up on Sunday and, of course I want my Raiders to win the Super Bowl every single year. That goes without saying. But, man, I'm so freaking proud of these boys. The way that they came together afterwards. I mean, after all this craziness and all this stuff that happened during the season, and we'll talk about it, I'm sure, a ton more. But man, I mean, what more can you ask for with the amount of stuff that this team has gone through through the course of the season? I mean, teams don't go through this in a 10-year span, let alone 1 year. So, so kudos to the guys. Shout out to the boys. And, we can sad sack tonight, but, I'm proud of this team. I'm proud to don the shield.
Amen. Always. And that never changes, right?
Right.
That never changes. That this Raider thing is for life.
Yes.
And that certainly never changes.
Absolutely.
And so appreciate that. Raider Nation hanging there with us. I tried fixing my camera there. It's not going to work. No, I'm going to be Led Zeppelin concert guy all night long, so you just have to deal with that.
Nice.
For those of you that are on the YouTube. For those of you on the audio
or
feed.
You can just run over here and be in my camera and then switch all the stuff all the time. Yeah.
Or I could turn Mosh's camera and do another angle or something and get all crazy. You never know.
Hey, man. Hey, the season's over, man. We could go off the rails and
do whatever the hell we
flip
want
that
to.
thing around.
Absolutely.
Get your profile shot.
Absolutely. Hey, why not? Right?
Why not?
That's my good side. All right. So, for those of you that are on the audio feed, you don't know what's going on. But anyways, my camera's all jacked up and it looks all weird. It looks like a bunch of like a kaleidoscope going on over here. But that's okay. We're gonna go forward with the show and appreciate everybody joining us on the audio version of the podcast. We are now part of the Fansided family and are the official Raiders podcast of Just Blog Baby and Fansided, and so we appreciate our partnership with them. And check out those websites if you will, and patronize them. And when you do, tell them Raiders Fan Radio sent you. And so we appreciate them on an audio podcast. You can find it on any podcast service. Just search for Raiders Fan Radio, and you can find us in that way. And subscribe to it and rate it, review it, all that good stuff. Helps the algorithm and helps us make more money.
Just press the damn button, nerd.
Exactly. Push that damn button. It helps us make more money. And with more money, we generate more revenue for the One Nation Foundation, which is our nonprofit that we have around here, where all the money goes, advertising, super chats, all that stuff goes straight there.
Yeah. And then, do you have the swag?
I do. You want? Okay. Well,
let's go ahead and do it.
We want to just shout it out.
I want to shout it out right here at the top.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to give it to you because it will look funny on my camera.
Yeah.
Here's what we're doing. So we do this giveaways once in a while where we raise money for the One Nation Foundation.
Yeah.
We're not doing it tonight. We're going to take 2 weeks off after tonight. but we will be back before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so you might catch a Tales from the Nation or an RFR conversation or something from us if we feel the Jones to podcast, but we're not going to do RFR proper for a couple of weeks. We're going to take a break.
Yep.
But anyways, when we come back for that Super Bowl show, we have got a giveaway that another item we're going to auction off, and all the money will go to the One Nation Foundation. And Swag Jeff, what do you got over there?
Yeah,
buddy?
I mean, the Raiders aren't going to be in the Super Bowl this year, but that doesn't mean we can't tune in for something fun around Super Bowl time. And so here locally in Middle Tennessee, we went to, of course, to go eat at Domenico's today. We had the best sandwiches in the world and got to hang out with Jeff Murphy. But there's like a little man cave shop. I can't remember the name of it, but shout out to them, whatever. But we went in there a couple weeks ago and said, "Where's your Raider swag?" And they go, "Well, we'll order some for you. So we went in there today and we found this Howie Long signed mini helmet that we are,
dude.
man. So we are going to be raffling that thing off on the week of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So it's Super Bowl swag time.
Super Bowl swag.
Yeah, so
I like it,
absolutely. So, a lot of people are getting their W-2s in and all that. They're going to be getting their tax refunds back. Now's the time, man. This is what you need to spend it on. Help the One Nation Foundation. We give to amazing charities like the Bolitnikoff, obviously, Stabler XOXO. We're trying to maybe get involved with the Darren Waller Foundation,
Yes.
The Motivate Foundation that Marcus Mariota does. All these things. So yeah, get in the mix, man. This is a freaking awesome helmet. It comes with the JSA certificate of authenticity, so it's the real deal. Yeah, man. Come on, get you some, bruh.
Let's go, man. Let's go. And again, all that money goes to the One Nation Foundation, which goes to great Raider causes. So appreciate you, all of you that did. And even like last week, we weren't even giving away anything. We made like $400. Like, dude, thank you.
$455 is what it was last
bananas.
week. That's insane.
That's bananas. Thank you all.
That's insane.
So
Fargo Raider says that he got arrested in a Howie Long jersey one time.
Oh,
well, there you go.
Hey, perfect.
There you go.
Hey, speaking of Fargo Raider in the chat, there, shout him out there, Swaggo.
Yeah,
what do we got going on in the chat room?
We got Foxy Scorpio, Raider Loco, Bugsy Raider that says salute Swag Jeff, Fargo Raider, Anthony Provencio, Paul is in there, Kevin the Raider Nerd. Let's see. There's a Russian porn person in there that I'm going to remove right now. So thanks for tuning in. Goodbye. Let's see who else we got in there. Fade to Black is in there. Running Bear's in there. Michelle Sweat. Lee B. We got everyone in here, man.
Well, you just haven't made it until you got Russian porn in your chat. Let me
Dude,
tell you.
You're not kidding.
Let me tell
man.
you. And hey, Kevin in there, Kevin the Raider Nerd, our buddy, says he says, I feel like I have kaleidoscope eyes looking at Murph. Some Murphy in the sky with diamonds over here.
Holy cow, yeah, man.
Yeah. Man, I don't know what to do.
Talking slow.
I know, right? Yeah, there we go. I don't know what's going on. This is too funny. Okay, so anyways, I'll won't fixate on that. All right, let's jump into the show proper. And so this is episode number 235, and Swag Jeff always takes our episode number and ties it back to something significant within Raider Nation. Swag Jeff, what do you got tonight?
Yeah, so episode 235, and I made this a few weeks ago before I even knew we were going to make the playoffs, Murph. And so you guys were out in Vegas doing your thing at the Chargers game, hanging out with Michelle Sweat and Capo and Trinidad and Fabricator Gill and all that stuff, and our good buddy Lamont. And I was laying in bed, my wife was asleep, and I was making episode numbers.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah, so episode 235, every episode I take a significant moment in Raider Nation and relate it back to the episode number. In 235, we're going back to January 13th, 1991.
Wow, okay. All right.
So we're going to be highlighting a divisional round game between the Raiders and the Bengals.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
I guess it'll be good for us, though, I hope.
Well, it's good because the Raiders won. It's bad because Raider Nation got to witness the end of Bo Jackson's career.
Oh, no, it was that game.
It was that game. Geez. But, however, we are going to highlight some great people. Quarterback Jay Schrader passed for 172 yards and a touchdown of 13 to wide receiver Swervin Mervin Fernandez, and a 41-yarder to tight end Ethan Horton.
I remember Ethan, yeah.
In a 20-10 victory at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. But the name of the game that day was rushing the football. The powerful running duo of Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson ran for 144 and 70 respectively. And with a little help on the ground from Steve Smith, the Raiders compiled compiled 235 yards on the ground against the Bengals that day.
Wow.
Yeah,
nice.
man. 235 yards. Bo Jackson made the ultimate sacrifice for Raider Nation and gave up his hip. But the Raiders won against the Bengals. So that's something that we can celebrate because why not today?
Because why not today? Nice job, Swag Jeff.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Nice job. All right, so I've done this. I've had to go profile. Look at this. It's like an official radio show.
Oh my gosh!
So let me take off Mosh's thing there. Okay, so you're just gonna get me like this. Okay, here we go. So I guess it kind of works because I can look at you and the camera's over there a little bit.
There you go.
But anyways, yeah, because the other one died fully. So there's my camera. Look at it. It's just dead. It just died.
I like it.
It's just freeze frame dead over there. So anyway, so we're gonna get this shot over here. So thank you for those of you bearing with us on the.
Hey,
on the audio feed.
before we jump any further,
What's
I do want to give respect to Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. Says greetings nation with an $8 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Aaron, you rock,
thank you,
brother.
Capo. Let's see, and Randy Hansen, Jeff Wilson, Fargo
Hey,
Raiders.
Coach.
Kill Jadis is in there. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, of course. Michelle Sweat, Kevin the Raider Nerd, Paul is in there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And are we ready to get this show on the road?
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Go ahead and hit the contact
Hit
info.
the
We'll get this thing
contact
rolling.
info.
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346. Or as Murph would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me?
You want to email me?
Email me. Show at RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes?
Yeah, I do.
Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. The Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio. Insta something. Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. The
Ticky-ticky-tacky-tack.
TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there Twitch. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good.
Nice. Nice one, Swaggo. All right, appreciate everybody joining us live here tonight for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio, and appreciate everybody on the YouTube. Swag Jeff, who do we got there in the chat room?
Oh my gosh, we got Kill Jadis, Randy Hansen, Raider Loco, Ron the Mater Raiders finally made it in here. Hey, I had to kill a couple bots for you there, Ron, but we held it down, and of course Ron holds the chat down perfectly as the moderator. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Michael Guerrero's in there, Paul is in there, Wyo Raiders in there.
Hey, Wyo.
Yeah, man. Jack Kenna's in there, Lee B, Fargo Raider, Raider Godzilla's in there.
Oh my gosh, we haven't seen Raider Godzilla in a while.
I know, right? Yeah, Kevin the Raider Nerd's in there, Michelle Sweat, Jeff Wilson, Bugsy Raiders in there, Chronicles of the Black Hole, our buddy OG Daniel's in there.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We've got 56 people watching right now and only 17 likes, so
Just press the damn button, nerd.
you know what to do.
Yeah, hit the buttons for us, man.
Just hit the damn button,
Hit
man.
the damn button, please, if you don't mind. So anyways, appreciate all of you. All right, so here at the top of the show, we like to do a little thing called respect. We don't do props. We don't do shout-outs. There's certainly nothing wrong with those things, but, we like to give respect. Hey. I had to make sure there was nothing incriminating on some on this side shot here. I was like, what is over here on this wall? Like, this is never on camera.
I don't know if I've ever seen that one.
You've never seen that wall. There you go.
Uh-uh.
There you go, Raider Nation. There's my dad and Uncle Bruz and Allegiant
Oh,
Stadium
nice.
and a program from when we played San Diego, in the Woodson game, Howie Long. There's Compton down there, all kinds of stuff.
There you go.
Oh, Napoleon Kaufman over here. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
right on.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So, but I digress. All right. So here at the top of the show, we do respect, and we got a lot to give respect to. First off, we're going to respect one of our listeners, Swag Jeff.
Oh,
we're
good.
We're going to respect a guy that's in the chat room and a guy that's been part of this show for a long, long time. His name is Atticus, or Atticus B. Rockin', and he's called the show now 3 times, and I failed due to my lack of record keeping. was unable to recognize him on his third call. So here at the top of the show, I want to give respect to Atticus and everybody else that's a made man and made woman around here. Anybody that contributes to this show on a regular basis, we appreciate you. We love you guys so very, very much. This show is nothing if not for you all. And so thank you so much to Atticus and all the amazing content contributors. Whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, so being a made man or made woman.
Tomato.
Potato. So like, let's call the whole thing off. So anything that you all do to participate with this show, we elevate you to a made man or made woman status. Basically, it's like your seat at the table. It's like an honorary position around here. It means your family. And I can tell you that, but no one says it better than the Uncle Mosh. So let's hear from Uncle Mosh and congratulations to Atticus.
You are a made man. You showed you are part of the family by participation. By chance, a man like yourself should make enemies, then they would become my enemies. Showing you are a friend of Raiders Fan Radio, you have leapt across the line. Friendship is everything. Friendship is more than talent. It is more than the government. It's almost equal to family. Be loyal. Made man, Raider fan. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this as a gift. And don't ever forget, words can hurt more, but silence can break hearts.
All right, appreciate Atticus, man. Congratulations on becoming the newest made man.
Welcome to the table, brother.
That's it, my friend.
Yeah, I think Capo in there said Atticus be made.
Oh,
nice.
Nice. Pass the garlic bread. Let's see. So Fargo Raider is another guy we wanted to make around here.
Yeah, you know what? And he said that he's tried to email us the last 2 weeks, and for some reason his email didn't go through. I told him just now in the chat to send me an email right now. swag@RaidersFanRadio.com.
There you go.
And if you send it by the time we get to the Sea of Fans, then we'll hit the button for you too.
Perfect. That way you don't have to wait 3 weeks before we're back here again to do that.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So, all right, good deal. So, all right. So next up, I want to give respect to Coach. I want to give respect to Coach Bisaccia. And, I was going to play this later on, Jeff, but I'm going to play it right now, the Coach audio. I want to give respect to Coach Bisaccia. And really, you guys, I guess we kind of bundle this together. Mike Mayock and Coach Bisaccia. Sadly, Mike Mayock got let go. A lot of us thought he deserved at least a second year.
I did.
Not a second year, but a second chance.
One more shot, man.
One more shot at it. One more year. I know that. Well, I'm here. I am getting on Mayock, and I want to celebrate Bisaccia first. We'll get to Mayock in a second.
Yeah.
Coach Bisaccia inherited a mess. He inherited an absolute nightmare. And if it weren't for...
And it got messier.
And if it weren't for exceptional leadership skills, which the man possesses, an ability to be a player's coach. Like, he's the epitome of a player's coach. His players love him. We've heard those accounts firsthand from our buddy Will to, from everything from the players in press conferences. I know Coach Hansen is talking about it in our chat room right now. He's talking about the Raiders have their head coach. So I just want to commend him and give him respect, regardless of what happens, regardless whether he gets the job or not. Frankly, doesn't matter to me. He's already cemented himself as a very significant part of Raiders history, being the man that guided this team to the playoffs amongst all of the garbage you could possibly throw at him and the locker room, and he still led the charge. He still got us there, and I know it didn't finish the way that we all wanted it to. Everybody wants to win the Super Bowl, and I get it. One and done isn't ideal, but we still got there. And considering that 4 weeks prior, we were about ready to write the team off. So major respect to Coach.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. We had no business being there. I said that at the beginning.
That way, yeah.
4 weeks before the end of the season, we were 6-7. They're a team that's 6-7 heading into the last 4 weeks, and the schedule that we had going in there, we playing the streaking Colts at the time, one of our rivals in San Diego, those were
Browns who were hit and miss all year.
Absolutely. Truth, man. And, and this team pulled together, and, and I think Bisaccia had a lot to do with that. And like you said, he's won this team over. Everyone loves Bisaccia. Of course, yes, like you said, we heard heard it with Will, but Max has come out and said, hey, this is our dude, man. Like, we love this guy. He's the best leader of men we've ever seen. We want him. We want him. So, so when you win a team over like that, that says something. So I hope the Raiders actually do give him a serious look as far as this goes. And then I'm sure you've seen the post going around of him sitting in a hotel room in Cincinnati or wherever that was, writing individual handwritten letters to every member of the team, thanking him for everything that he's done. Because like you said, he inherited a really crummy situation, with a coach being let go or resigning in the way that John had to do. And then he inherits this team and gets them to the bye week at 5-2. And we're like, oh my gosh, like right on. And then tragedy strikes, literally in the bye week. And, and then, a few weeks later, we have to let go of our other first round pick that year, with, it doesn't even matter what his name is, big stupid. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and then Waller goes down with an injury. Like, I mean,
and COVID runs through the locker room. We get delayed on the tarmac against the Browns. It was like thing after thing after thing after thing, man.
But coach got him ready to go. And, respect to the guy, man. Like, I love Bisaccia. We got to meet him at the Bolitnikoff Foundation.
Nicest guy, dude.
Nicest guy maybe that I've ever met.
Took time for some schmucky podcasters to go around and took time away from chatting with Fred Bolitnikoff to talk with us.
Truth. And that's exactly what he was doing. Yeah, we were kind of standing there and Fred kind of pointed over to us and came over and took some pictures, and we were, chopping it up with him and saying, hey, Will Compton sends his regards, and he sent us a very nice message to give back to Will Compton. But it's just like a great dude, man. Just a great guy, man.
Great guy. So anyway, let's again, testament to his character, testament to his leadership skills.
Yes.
This is his final presser on the way out. And what does he do? He heads out, or at least what likely could be his final presser. We'll see. But here he is thanking everybody. The guy exits with gratitude.
I'd like to thank certainly our players for their constant and consistent work and relentless effort to improve every day. That's all we really asked of them. They succeeded in that. Also, I'd like to thank the coaching staff for never blinking and for always putting the man first and then coaching the players second. Also, I'd love to give a shout out to Raider Nation.
Let's go.
For their loud and never-ending support for our team. They heard you, and they heard you, and you need to understand that. To have fans in Allegiant Stadium for the first time this season was an incredible experience, and in the future, I think this team will take great pride in playing at home and making an advantage to them. To play the Chargers with a blackout crowd was energizing for our players in that game, and I think it showed, again, all the way to the end. I'd like to finish by also thanking Mark Davis, Mike Mayock, and the entire Raider organization for their on-time support throughout the entire season. It was much appreciated. No one ever wavered. I believe it's a privilege to coach and play for the Las Vegas Raiders and in the National Football League.
Man, I'm telling you, man, you can't get any more respected than comments like that. I mean, that gets the utmost from us around here, and so appreciate Coach Bisaccia.
Absolutely.
I see something going on in the chat room there. Is our good friend Ebony Graves and her husband Tyrone Graves, good friends of the show. Is Ebony is in the hospital or something? Maybe.
Yeah. I'm. Let's see. Ebony Graves. Hey, family, just peeking in to say hi in Texas with our daughter. She's in the hospital.
She's in the hospital. Okay.
Yeah. So
right.
Asking Nation for prayers. So prayers up.
Amen.
Yeah. Ebony and Tyrone. Thoughts and prayers for you. For
absolutely. Always praying for Raider family around here for sure, and thinking of you all here as we do the show. All right. Next up, we're going to give respect to Coach. Maybe one day. I want to give respect to former general manager of the Raiders, Mike Mayock. So here we go. So, and this is not name dropping. I mean, Frank Sinatra told me one day, don't be a name dropper. But I met Mike Mayock at the Courtyard in Knoxville.
At the Senior Bowl, right?
No, well, I met him twice. So I met the Senior Bowl for the Raiders when he first became the general manager. But long before that, I met him at the Courtyard in Knoxville. He was still working for NFL Network.
Oh.
It was in town for the pro day for the Vols.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and met him and met him at breakfast and chatted with him for a little bit, and of course talked about the Raiders and whatnot and some of their needs and whatever. But again, a genuine guy, like a guy that had no, didn't have to take time out of, I'm sitting next to him at a breakfast table and I'm like, oh, hey, it's Mike Mayock. And took time to chat it up and asked about who I rooted for and whatever. The same thing at the Senior Bowl. Who are you here with? Tell me about your podcast. You know what I mean?
Cool, man.
People these guys don't have to do that kind of stuff.
No.
You know what I mean? I met Drew Rosenhaus at that same event, biggest dick on the planet.
Oh, no.
Wouldn't even
Really?
take three. I'm like, hey, Drew. And he freaking blew me off. I wasn't even standing there. You know what I mean? These people don't have to engage with you. And so many of these Raiders, not only in the coaching staff, but executives, they're genuinely nice people. If the Raiders won games based on their niceness, we'd be undefeated. I swear to goodness, these people are the nicest freaking guys running this organization. And so I've always had an affinity for Mayock. I think he's a great football mind. I think that, he fell victim to a couple things. I think one is that he's associated with Gruden. And I think that for whatever, justify it or not, I feel like the organization is trying to just 100% distance themselves from John Gruden. And so I think Mayock got caught up in that. I think another unfortunate thing is that I think Mayock is held accountable for John Gruden picks. We know this for sure.
Well, we talked about it at lunch today.
Yes, we know for sure that the split was 51% Gruden, 49% Mayock in terms of talent evaluation and who they were going to select in the draft. We know that is true. We also know it is 100% true that Mike Mayock wanted Devin White, Gruden overrode him and selected Cleve Farrell. Okay, we know that Mike Mayock had to assemble a cut-up film of Josh Jacobs and basically force Gruden's hand to watch the film and plead with him to draft Josh Jacobs, who's probably the best first-round pick that's ever been made in that regime. Now, you can question whether Jacobs qualifies for the fifth-year option, blah, blah, blah. Point being, though, is that out of all the first-round picks, that's the one we can point to and go, okay, that made sense. That was a good pick.
Sure.
So here's where I'm getting at. It sucks that all the hits that Mayock had in the second, third, fourth, whatever, tons. Divine Diablo, Hunter Renfrow, Trayvon Mullen in the second, Max Crosby. We can go on down
Hunter
the list.
Renfrow, yeah, all those guys. Divine Diablo.
Yeah. Those are hits all over the damn place, right? So, and you could even really, and then if we go to this last year, Merrick as in the second is a freaking money pick.
It was a steal.
It's a freaking money.
Everyone would have been so happy if we got him in as our first pick.
In the first. And so you swap him. Anyway, so my point being is this. Then you add in the fact of look at who he signs. And he signs guys like Casey Hayward. He signs guys like Solomon Thomas, Jefferson. Who am I missing? Denzel Perryman.
Mariota.
Well, yes, you did.
He was the first.
There you go. All right, but my point being though is that doesn't that track record? I just think that he deserved to get a good look at what he would do in an offseason sans John Gruden. I don't know why. And I don't. And look, I don't get paid to run the football team. I'm just a knucklehead podcaster in my bonus room, hanging out with my best friend, having adult beverages, talking about the Raiders. So I don't know shit, but I think that the optics say he deserved another look. I don't understand it. Unless there's something behind the scenes, which is clearly possible because we're not inside the walls of Henderson. There's got to be something that had happened, a conversation, a point that was trying to be made, a future hire that is going to blow our minds. There's got to be a good reason this guy was let go, because to me, as a fan, the optics don't add up. He didn't do anything to deserve to be the first one let go.
Yeah.
Jeff, What do you think?
Well, I'm curious. And that was pretty new information that came out that I didn't realize that Mayock wanted Devin White over Cleve Farrell, which is just mind blowing looking at the two of their careers. I mean, just
F
ask
to the
Aaron.
E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't Farrell.
But I wonder if there was trouble in paradise with him and John before, because pre all this stuff that happened with Gruden, Gruden was Mark Davis's guy, man. I mean, 100%.
Sure.
All of his eggs in the Gruden basket. So I wonder if that was ever questioned to Mark, from Mayock. Hey, is this our guy?
Your boy over here.
Your boy's screwing up, man. Your boy's screwing up, and that might have kind of put a wedge between Mark.
That's a great point.
Mark and Mike. It's very possible that he said, well, if you're not with us, you're against us. And so, now the Gruden's gone, I got no use for you, But I'm totally with you, man. I mean, the guy has unbelievable draft knowledge, wanted the great guys, didn't get them, but went deep in the draft and got some of our core pieces that should be with us for the next 10 plus years. Why not give that guy one more shot?
Yeah. Well, and that's why I think that, I think that, Mark Davis came out and said it. At least he told Jay Glazer, and Jay Glazer reported that he wants a, quote, rock star head coach. Okay. So I get that. So who are the rock star head coaches? Well, it's not some coordinator from somewhere or whatever. It's freaking Harbaugh.
It's Jim Harbaugh.
Or you know what I mean? Or it's Sean Payton, or it's like, you know what I mean? I got the odds here. So check this out. I found, this is fun. I love freaking Vegas, man. You can make a bet on anything. So I got the odds here for the odds on the next Raiders head coach, Jeff. Okay. And still we're celebrating Mike Mayock here and giving him respect, but we're trying to piece together on why he might have been let go. So and the case is based. Somebody in the chat said, I'm sorry, I missed it there. Pirate 1975 says Harbaugh wants total control of the groceries. Famous line by Bill Parcells: if you want me to cook in the kitchen, you need me to let me go shop for the groceries. So if that's the case, if there's this, quote, rock star head coach that's going to have the same amount of influence or level of influence that John Gruden did, it's going to take a big name. You're not talking about, I don't know, Joe Brady or something, whatever. Some of the names that have been thrown out there, Eric Bieniemy, whatever. You're talking about a big name. So what are the names on the list here? Okay, so I got the odds here. So who do you think is the favorite according to Las Vegas? When I say Vegas, not the Raiders, I mean Vegas, the city, the betting establishments. Who do you think is the favorite?
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh, number one on the list.
What are the odds on that?
2-1.
No kidding.
2-1.
Really?
2-1 that Jim Harbaugh is going to be your coach. This is according to Vegas, and they're not wrong often.
Nope.
They're not wrong often. Okay, so Jim Harbaugh, number 2. Want to take a shot?
Is it Rich?
It's Rich. Rich is a 5-2.
Yeah.
Rich is second. And because of everything we know about him as a man.
But I love that.
I do too.
Whether he's the guy or not, but if he's getting serious consideration, I love that.
I love that too.
And whoever takes over, I hope that he stays on his special teams. I don't know if he will.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can do. I guess you could. I mean, you could be like Gruden, the de facto coordinator, and still head coach. So yeah, absolutely. All right, you want to take a shot at any of the other names on the list before I read them off?
Well, I mean, I know Bieniemy's probably on that list.
Bieniemy is on there, but I wouldn't qualify him as a rock star candidate.
Oh, if you're talking rock stars,
yeah, he's a 10-1 shot. By the way,
what about Pete Carroll? Is he on that list?
Pete Carroll is not on the list.
Okay, well, I'm thinking of rock star people, the big splash where you go, whoa.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Sean Payton's on that list.
Sean Payton is. He's another 10-1. Sean Payton is on the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian Flores?
Brian Flores not on the list.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have any. I don't think I have any.
Okay.
Other.
So here's mine that are not rock stars.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So Doug Peterson is a 5-1, not a rock star.
Not interested.
David Shaw is a 10-1, not a rock star. I don't like him. Todd Bowles, we've already seen him as a head coach. I don't agree.
Yep.
As a rock star. 10-1. Don't like it. Brian Daboll, Joe Brady, both 16-1 and 14-1. Don't like them. Not rock stars.
Nope.
Nathaniel Hackett, 20-1. Not a rock star.
Okay.
Lane Kiffin, 100-1 shot. Oh, Lance throws his hat into the arena.
No kidding.
Yeah, let's ask Coach Hansen what he thinks about old Lance.
Yeah, right.
Back. Not a rock star.
No, he's been talking about it in there. He said, man, he was young, it was back in 2000. Nah.
He wasn't that young.
Nah. We're good.
We're good.
We're good.
We're good. Okay. Byron Leftwich. Interesting. I wouldn't say rock star, but he's a 10-1. Now we're creeping up the list.
I think he would be a sexy pickup for some of these playmakers that are going into free agency.
Yes.
Because look what he's doing in Tampa Bay right now with superstars.
Yes. So I agree. I think Byron Leftwich is a good call. Now you're getting into rock star territory. Now the next two are the ultimate rock stars.
Sure.
This is this is Zeppelin and the Stones, right?
Okay.
This is Plant and Jagger. This is whatever.
Okay.
8-1. Dabo Sweeney. Dude,
hey,
that's a big name. Now look,
it's a big name, and he was at a Raider game. Earlier in the year was he at the Browns game or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's old Dabo. I think that's interesting. All right,
it is.
And then, all right, and actually, this is bigger than this is like the Elvis, the Michael Jackson. This is the top of the heap in terms of rock star.
Sure.
Mike Tomlin is a 7-1.
Is he really?
Mike freaking Tomlin. Now look, I've heard people float Mike Tomlin's name out there. All during this process.
So what is he going to?
And I've been like, why would he leave? No one leaves
Why would
Pittsburgh.
he leave?
They've had 3 coaches in their entire history. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. The end. It's 3 people. Why would he leave? But now you're talking about you got to bring in another quarterback.
They got to rebuild.
They're in a rebuild. Could he have a case of the ass? I don't know. But that to me, okay, if you had to, if you got to just throw every name out there, and I'm including names like Belichick and all of the current people that are coaching in the NFL, from head coaches all the way down. If I had to pick a guy,
he might be your guy.
That's the guy. I don't know if I don't think there's any interest of him to jump the team. I think this is a complete long shot. This is the longest of long shots. I don't think it would ever happen. But in terms of fit,
need a red ass guy and a guy that isn't afraid to bench people when they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Antonio Brown, you know what I mean? Okay, I can get down with a guy like that.
Absolutely, dude. He's got cojones. He's a red ass. He's a good coach.
He made it to the playoffs with 38-year-old fat Ben Roethlisberger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude has won consistently in Pittsburgh. And I don't know. I like his vibe. I love the way that he coaches and that his approach. And so anyways, I won't get on the Mike Tomlin train here. We're trying to celebrate Mike Mayock. But I thought that was very interesting.
Speaking of Mike Mayock.
Mike Tomlin. So 7-1 shot. So if that's the case.
That's interesting that the odds are that good.
Well, because what would entice someone like that would be, look, Mike, you come over here. It's all yours, baby. Vegas is yours. You have the Raiders.
You have the keys of the kingdom.
You got the keys of the kingdom. And we're going to pay you all the money. I'm just saying, that would entice Sean Payton too.
Yep.
I mean,
yep. And a lot of people are saying Riddick for GM, Tomlin for head coach.
Dude, okay,
sign me up.
Yeah, done. I think that's fantastic. So, anyways, I think there's a lot of it. So that didn't go back to it. Celebrate Mike Mayock.
Dude, yeah.
Much respect to Mike.
Respect to Mike.
I think there's only one way that he gets let go, and it's because we have something of that caliber waiting in the wings.
There's a big splash that's about to happen.
And if it's not, if we don't get the big splash, then I'm really I don't question the organization a lot.
Shame on Mark.
Then I'm going what are we doing? We just made the playoffs. And now we're doing some dopey stuff. Yeah. So anyways, all right. Oh, man, jeez, this respect segment's taking forever.
We are still at the top of the show.
We're at the top of the show, literally. It's because I talk a lot. I like this stuff.
Jeez, we're 50 minutes in.
Oh, 50?
50.
Get the hell out of here.
We're 50 minutes in.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, I'll get it moving here quick. All right.
Oh, you're good. Do your thing, bro.
All right. Next up, I want to give respect to a Bengals fan, Jeff.
What?
Crickets. All right. So the reason that... There you go.
Sorry.
Thank you. No, I'm just trying to keep you on schedule. So the reason I'm giving it to a Bengals fan is that Jerry Mills is a ER nurse. He is a former, I believe, medic. I apologize if I'm messing up his credentials, but I know he's an active nurse in the Cincinnati area. Went to the Bengals game, Bengals Raiders game.
Okay.
Is walking up to the stadium and sees Raider fan Ed Fernandez lying still on the pavement, goes over to him, recognizes that he has no pulse, starts administering CPR, and keeps the man alive long enough for the Cincinnati Fire Department to arrive and the ambulances, and for them to swoop Mr. Fernandez up and get him back into health, and saves the dude's life in the parking lot in Cincinnati before the Raiders-Bengals game. Much, much respect to Jerry Mills.
Holy cow, man. That's unbelievable.
Isn't that great?
Oh my gosh, what a cool story that is.
Yeah, great story.
Respect.
Much respect. Much respect. So appreciate you, my friend, and best wishes to Ed Fernandez to a rapid recovery from whatever was going on there. They didn't say it in the article, but whatever it is, we wish you much health. All right, Swaggle, let's hit a break and then head into this Bengals game.
And before we do that,
please.
Parman 1975, a $2 donation. I missed the scroll up there, and I can't find it, but $2 donation, and Tyrone Graves, a $5 donation as well. But we got Pineapple in there, Ron the Mater Raider, Kevin the Raider Nerd, Michelle Sweat, Jack Kenna Fargo Raider, Bugsy Raider, Tubby Chili's in there, Paul is in there, Carlos is in there, Tall Ken Chit's in there, Wyo Raiders in there, Uncle Mosh is in there.
What? Uncle Mosh?
Uncle Mosh is in there.
Let's go.
The Numbers is in there, Foxy Scorpio, Raiderborn Rico's in there, Lala Maloso. Yes, let's go, man.
Awesome, man. Let's go. Dick Vitale.
Dick Vitale's in there. Chili Man's
He's
in there.
He's a diaper dandy, baby. Let's go. Switch around. Double
Baby. Randy Hansen, Piper 1975. Joseph Parra's in there. Naomi TKO's in there. Jesus Alvarez is in there.
Oh, my gosh, man.
Oh, my gosh. We
loaded up tonight.
We got the whole crew.
Here we were thinking we were going to have a ghost town tonight.
Hey, yeah, well, everyone wants a sad sack together.
Let's all sad sack together,
it feels a little better when you have community. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Sad sack.
Patrick Claybon with NFL Network here. Hey, folks, I know 3 things you might like. Do you like football? Do you like the Las Vegas Raiders? Do you like listening to things? I'll add a 4th. Do you like swag? Well, here we got Swag Jeff, Murph, Uncle Mosh. This is Raiders Fan Radio.
Hey, Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murph, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
All right, good stuff there. I love it. Swag Jeff showing off his number 98 new Max Crosby.
Yeah, man. Got that for Christmas from my wife.
Aw, want to shout out the wife?
I love you, baby. Swag wife, Chris. Dude, my wife, and I'll brag on my wife for just a minute.
Do it, man.
She's a wedding planner here locally in Middle Tennessee, and was just voted best of wedding planner.
Let's go
on several wedding planning websites.
Nice.
The girl is kicking ass. I'm so proud to call her my wife. She's unbelievable.
Chris.
Yeah, man. She's already matched her number of weddings that she did last year. This year, and we're only 2.5 weeks into the year. So yeah, it's gonna keep growing, man. So shout out to Chris, man. I'm so proud of you.
So here's my question to you, and Chris.
Okay.
All right, is she gonna match her number of Vegas trips this year and join us out there for the draft in April?
I don't know if she's gonna match that number. We'll have to plan our Vegas trip carefully because we only typically get one of those a year.
Okay, all right. Way to put you on the spot. Thanks, Murph.
Yeah. Well, I'll just tentatively say no, and then if we surprise you, then
there we go.
Hot damn, man, that's awesome.
We'll be looking for you. All right, so let's get into this Bengals game. So, man, look, it was disappointing. I mean, we were all thankful to be there, of course, but like Jeff said earlier, it was really. We didn't stumble in. We certainly didn't back our way in. We won 4 games.
Gosh, we were the hottest team in the NFL.
Hottest team in the NFL. We were the darlings of the NFL. Although the media wasn't picking us, we were being celebrated within the media, and it certainly felt good. It felt good as a Raider fan to be on that end of it and to not be on the side that we typically are, which is oh my gosh, look at the second half collapse and post bye week and blah 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 blah. So we had hopes. We had more hope than we had in 20 years because going into the game in 2016, none of us had any faith in Connor Cook. I mean, we wished for the best, but ain't nobody expected us to win. But so anyway, so we were disappointed in it. But don't you know, guys, considering everything we've been through, and I won't rehash it all again because it's been said ad nauseum, but like considering everything that we did to be there, to actually make that appearance in the playoffs, that was such a very significant game. And also for the Raiders to play it down to the last play, to be the most competitive game of the entire weekend. Like if you look at the other scores, the other games were kind of boring, frankly. There was a lot of blowouts going on.
Blowouts, man.
Not our Raiders. They went in and look at Cincinnati is no joke, man. Like, yeah, they're the Bungles, and last week I'm here. I am sitting here going, oh, the Bengals are going to bangle, y'all, and all that stuff. Like, and they didn't. And we unfortunately were challenged through a lot of missed opportunities. The most glaring thing that happens to the Raiders is, of course, the call, the inadvertent whistle. But as we're going to hear from the GOAT here in a second, a couple things. The game didn't come down to that one play. Mosh says it all the time. The games don't come down to one play. I guess, but then Cousin Sonny will say, yeah, except sometimes they do, which is true. And both of those things are very true. But to point at one thing and not consider the rest, I think is not a good strategy to look at.
I mean, there's obviously things that during the entirety of the game that can be done different. I'm sure we'll talk about it a ton. Daniel Carlson doesn't need to be on the field as often as he was during that game. But, you could ask the same question. I mean, what about the tuck rule game? That was decided by a play.
Yeah, but then we also couldn't stop the Patriots either. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
So it is. It works both ways totally. But but when you look back at that game of what's the moment that may have changed the game, there is a moment.
There is a moment. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But then, so anyways, all things be considered. And so again, we're going to check in with the GOAT. We're going to check in with Charles Woodson. And he says it best, I think, here, that like he sets up his point by acknowledging that there were a lot of other things going on with this game.
A few bad breaks, some bad calls, some of it self-inflicted. What is your takeaway from those calls specifically?
Yeah, I think self-inflicted is correct. Holding calls, false starts. I mean, the whole day, every positive game we had in that game was called back because of a penalty. But Carissa, if you want to know why Raiders fans, Raider Nation, are always pissed off at the league and the officials, it's because of that call yesterday. It seems like we're always a part of these games. The whistle blows the play dead. Am I correct on that?
I heard a whistle,
the question is, does the whistle blow the play dead?
Yes.
Correct. Then the play is over. So really, this is actually a tie ball game right now today. They should go back, take the 7 points off the board.
You're a Raider.
And we got to play this game again next. Maybe Wednesday. Straight. Can we play Wednesday? Let's play the game. Let's finish the game on Wednesday. This is a tie ball game. But come on, we can't keep getting these kind of calls.
Cincinnati.
All right, so there he is. There's the GOAT, Charles Woodson. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree with that, man. It's hard to disagree with that. Raider fan has a case of the ass for the officials and for the league, and justifiably so. Like, did the game come down to that play? Yes. Were there all these other things, like our failure to convert in the red zone and the penalties and all that cost us the game? Yes. I think those are the and I got some numbers for you, of course, because you know me. I love numbers. I hate math. So I've got some numbers for you that I'll get to here in a second. But you wonder why we as Raider fan are claiming conspiracy all the time. Do I think there's an overriding conspiracy, something that, like there's some Illuminati room where they all gather together and figure out how they're going to screw the Raiders every year? No. And I think that if you're thinking along those lines, it's silly that, no one's got that much time. But it is awful coincidental. And if you wonder why we're butthurt, here you go. Like, it's because this is the kind of stuff that comes up. So, yeah. So that said, this is what cost us the game. Let's not focus on the call. We all know the call was blown. We all know, and we're going to hear from Max Crosby here in a second on the Rich Eisen show talking about it. But we all know it was a bunk call. We all know it was lame.
Sure.
But here's why the Raiders lost the game. The Raiders are 20th this season in converting red zone trips into touchdowns. Not this season, excuse me. Over the past 8 seasons, the Raiders are 20th converting red zone trips and 28th in the last 4 seasons. So we're not, like you said, we're marching out DC2, not scoring with DC4.
Right.
Speaking of DC4, I pulled back a lot of stats this week because I didn't want to turn this into a Derek Carr beat up show, because a lot of times that's what people do.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that.
I don't want to beat up on him, but I do want to acknowledge a couple things that,
because it's already happening now that the season's over. Everyone's
people
right
are
back
piling
into,
on again. Here we go again.
Who's going to replace Derek? We need to trade Derek. We need to get rid of Derek. It's
Everyone's
starting
looking for
all over again.
Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, everybody, including. I mean, we've speculated on stuff like that.
Sure.
On who's coming, but anyway. So, but here's what it. Look. Here it is. The numbers are the numbers, man, and it sucks. Derek Carr had an 83.3 passer rating in the red zone this season for the Raiders, including the playoff game. Of 31 qualifying quarterbacks, only Trevor Lawrence was lower. Be great between the 20s, get them stats.
Yep.
Got to put the ball in the end zone, man.
Put the ball in the end zone.
Damn end zone.
Yep.
The playoff game was the 32nd time since 91 that a quarterback threw 10-plus passes in the red zone in a playoff game. Derek Carr's rating, 34.7.
Ooh.
It's the lowest in that span, beating out Matt Hasselbeck, who had a 42.4 against the Packers in 2004.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff where it's just like, oh, gosh,
yeah.
Derek. I'm like, come on. I got a couple more for you. And I'm going to get out and I want to hear from you. Carr went on Saturday, 4 for 17 in the red zone. That's the second most red zone incompletions in a game in the last 20 seasons, in the regular seasons or the playoffs. The only ones that were worse were Matthew Stafford in 2011 and, surprisingly, Aaron Rodgers in 2019. Now this is not on Derek. This is a team stat. So remember, this is not picking on Derek. I'm just throwing out the red zone inefficiency that we had. The Raiders were the first team to get into the red zone 5+ times in a playoff game and score only one touchdown in the last 18 years. The last team to do that was the Patriots in the 2003 title game versus the Colts, where they scored 5 field goals and 1 touchdown and a safety. So look, here's the deal. That call sucked. The inadvertent whistle was a bad call. It was a missed rule, or the play is blown dead. And again, we're going to hear from Max talking about it in a second. But that's not why they lost the game. Let's not fixate on that. Let's not take the path of least resistance as fans and say that's the reason why, because it's easy to point at one little thing. But, dude, the first team to get into the red zone 5+ times in a playoff game and score 1 touchdown in 18 years. That's dog shit. That's awful.
It's terrible.
That's why we lost a freaking football game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Derek, this is his first playoff game, man. Solidify yourself. You gotta find your playmakers. You got to do that. And we'll talk about that here more in just a moment. But look at the other side of the ball. We were the worst in the league in red zone defense, So those guys
equally bad.
They find the end zone. That call, the call that everyone is talking about, the whistle call or whatever. Red zone. Defense wasn't there. Yes, they might have stopped a little bit early, but that's not the first time that this has happened. I mean,
we let Williams score on a freaking in the Chargers game. Yes,
last play of the game. I mean, and that wasn't the only time that's happened. I mean, look how many times Kelsey's done that to us this season, and all these other times. It's just it blows my mind how stout the defense is until we get to the red zone, and it's just like, well, I guess we're just going to give up 6 here. Come on, guys.
Unbelievable.
Come on.
So in the chat room there, Running Bear says, how many of the red zone was stopped by drop balls and penalties? Here's the thing. That's a fair question.
That's a fair question.
But I don't know what the number is, but here's my response. Ain't enough. I mean, we don't see Darren Waller having balls clank off his hands in the end zone. And even on that last play of the game, we're throwing 2 yards short of the end zone.
Yeah,
I know Zay Jones is your best friend.
I don't.
But why are Waller and Renfro decoys on the play, Jeff?
And I was going to get to that whenever you played Zay's call, but I'm just going to say it now. I don't give a shit what time Zay Jones comes into the effing building in the mornings. I don't care that you guys share a cup of coffee and toss the ball around at 5 a.m. or whatever. Get the ball to your effing playmakers. Hunter Renfro got you here. Darren Waller got you here. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, find somebody. You know, Zay Jones is not the answer. He's not the guy. Love him. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for all that you've done for Raider Nation. And I hope that you play for us for a while because you do come in clutch, but you're not the guy.
Not in the red zone, especially.
Not in the red zone. Hello, Darren Waller. Or, I mean, I'm sorry, Hunter Renfrow. I mean, the little dipsy do things that he does. Go do that.
That China route, triple move thing, like all that stuff.
Come on, man. Don't be. I mean, and he was fixating on him all game long. I mean, he probably led the team in receptions. I mean, dude.
Well, and that's on Olsen too. Like, and look, and we love Coach Ole, but that's on Ole too. If you're drawing up a play that gets Edwards into the which really probably should have won where the ball went. If we really want to get nitpicky about Derek, that's where the ball should have went. He had plenty of time.
Yeah.
But Zay Jones, so he calls it's. And speaking of Williams from the Chargers, that's the same route. It's that, I don't even remember what it's called, but it's basically they go up and then they cut to the corner and then come work straight back to the ball or straight back to the quarterback. He ran it too short. Like, you got to get that thing in there further so you're in the end zone. So when you start to come back, you're still in the end zone. What a concept.
Yep.
But then he had Waller and Renfrow running the like, come on, Ole. What are we doing?
Well,
like, get those guys.
Yeah,
I'm just telling.
I can't remember who said in the chat, said Hunter Renfro's a number 3. Nah, bruh.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. Who was it? Randy Hansen said it.
Oh, Coach,
come on, man.
Now by definition, he shouldn't
sure,
be,
because that's the number 1 slot position is number 3. But you know,
yeah, come on. But he's in terms of playmakers. Because Waller, still seems like he's hurt. So, like, I disagree, Coach, and I don't disagree with Coach Offa because he knows so much, way more than I ever will. Guy spent his life in football.
Yeah.
But, like, the Hunter, like, in terms of, like, targeting, Hunter's got to be. I don't understand why you would just use him as a decoy. That doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make any sense.
Anyways, all right, so plenty of reasons why the Raiders lost the game. But to go back to the inadvertent whistle, let's go ahead and check in with Max Crosby. Love our buddies at the Rich Eisen Show, and gosh, I'm name dropping a lot tonight. I hope I don't sound like an asshole. Sorry,
he's
guys.
not just consistent; he's a man of his word.
All right, so let's check in with Max Crosby on the Rich Eisen Show, talking about that whistle.
All right, and then the play that everybody's talking about more recently because you won going to Cincinnati. Joe Burrow throws one to Taj Boyd. There's a whistle. Did part of the team stop playing or stop running as hard as possible because you thought the play was over? You heard the echo of the whistle in that moment, Max?
Yeah, that's another. There's always controversy with us, to say the least. But yeah, during that play, I was in pursuit of the quarterback, and I'm just running after Joe Burrow, and in my view, it looked like he stepped out of bounds. So when that happened, I don't know if he did or not. Like, as I saw the replay, I don't think he did, but it was very close. And so when he almost stepped out of bounds, he launched the ball, and the second it left his hand, the ref right there blew the whistle because he saw what I saw. It was close, and it looked like he stepped out.
Right.
So we heard the whistle, and then all of a sudden I looked back, and he caught the receiver caught it, but it looked like the DB stopped. So that was just my opinion. Then I saw the replay, and I'm like, oh, yeah, the whistle blew, and our guys stopped, and it looked like the Bengals guys thought it was over as well. But then all of a sudden they just said signal touchdown, and I was yelling at the ref saying, no way, he blew the whistle.
Right.
Regardless if he stepped out or not, I thought they should have stopped it, but what do I know? It
definitely seemed
trying to get to the quarterback.
Right. It definitely seemed, again, it's Tyler Boyd, my bad, that he did seem like the ball had already maybe, crossed the plane of the goal on the way to Boyd's hands when the whistle blew. But you were right there. So as soon as you saw the foot go down near the end, the boundary, you heard the whistle, Max Crosby. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's. I just assumed he was out and they blew it dead, and even if he didn't, you blow the whistle. I thought it would be another play or just redo the play or whatever. But it didn't. That didn't happen. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's over with. Wish we could play a better game and get them back. Because I really do believe we were the better team. We didn't play our best football on Saturday.
I love that comment from Max. I mean, obviously he calls out the truth of the scenario, which is that the players stop playing because that's what you do when the whistle blows. But I think he's right. I think the Raiders are a better team than the Bengals. I think, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, and hypothetically, you know, you never know, but I think 9 out of 10 times Raiders win that game. Like, I think they had a bad day. Like Mosh says it all the time. Like, oh, you know, sometimes you just have a bad day. Unfortunately, we had a bad day. Like we've seen the Raiders at times have the penalty challenges that they had on Saturday. We've seen that through the Raiders' history, obviously, and being the most penalized team in the league and blah, 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 blah. We saw that go away for a lot of this season, and then it would like pop up every once in a while. We'd have a game where we'd have a bunch of penalties, right? And I think we had one of those days. And aside from the red zone inefficiency, I think the penalties are what cost us the game. And I think those are the two big things. So I agree with Max. They are a better team than the freaking Bengals. Unfortunately, they just weren't better in that 3-hour chunk.
Yeah, you know, I agree with that, you know, but it just seems like, I mean, I'm kind of with everybody when they're talking about Ole here. I feel like we just kind of got away from our game plan a little bit. I don't know. I don't understand if it was the playoffs that kind of spooked us a little bit or spooked him a little bit, you know, but, you know, we didn't. I mean, did Deshaun Jackson have a single catch, which he's kind of been away from the. He's been so kind of hit or miss this season.
Yeah,
and
that was a weird one, man. I thought he was going to have a way bigger impact than he did.
I kind of thought so too, but you know, I mean, and you know, not to bring up the guy that I like so much, but where was Marcus? You know, I mean, in the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, we've seen Marcus come in a ton, and the only time he saw the field was it was like a penalty, it was like a false start or something like that. I mean, and he didn't even play a snap.
Which is interesting because when you have the red zone challenges that the Raiders have had, that to me is the ultimate wild card to play in the red zone is Mariota. And you know, when you see, not to make this about the Titans or anything, but what he did in Tennessee was that he would line up under center, or at least you know, in the shotgun formation. You line up a quarterback, and all of a sudden it would switch. And he would go out, and Derrick Henry would come in and take the snap, or like whatever, like, and you know what I mean? And like,
he was catching touchdown passes and doing all
kinds of stuff. And it's like when you have a player like that at your disposal, you would think that they would have been a little more creativity considering the challenges. Now, I'm not going to say that like just because Marcus is on the team, you need to make it about him in the red zone. Blah blah blah. I'm not saying that at all. Not. But what I am saying though is that if you know you're challenged in the red zone, why not introduce something like that? Like. You know what I mean? Because it's not like, because all those numbers I read you guys just a minute ago, that's not like just this week. This stuff has been going on all year long. Hence the amazing season Daniel Carlson has had.
Right.
So like, why not do that stuff? I'm with you.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and that's pretty much what I had. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. It seemed like he got spooked that we were down early and all that stuff and having to play from behind and all that stuff. I don't know, man. I really don't. He got away from the plan, and I
got to pin a lot of that on Ole, man. We love to, you know, everybody loves to single out Derek, and he's an easy target. That was on Ole. That's on Ole. All right, let's. So speaking of Derek and his best friend, there you go.
I love this culture. I love the group of guys we have in that locker room. Ultimately, decisions way above my pay grade on what occurs, but coach like Coach Rich, I'm gonna fight for. Quarterback like Derek, I don't want to hear any Derek Carr slander. That's my guy. So I got Derek's back.
All right, T.O., take it easy there, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's
Zay Jones has Fresno corner at his house. You know what I mean?
That's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback, man.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't want to pick on it. I'm going to move on from this, but I'll just say this. If there's, look, it ain't show friends, it's show business. I'll just say
you got it.
That's
you got it.
All there is to it. All right, one more to get to. Amy Trask, the what do they call her? The Queen of Darkness or whatever that Raider Nation calls her.
Okay.
Former, of course, executive for the Raiders, the first female executive in the NFL. And I love the way that she has represented her Raiders loyalty and fandom throughout the history of her career, even since she's been out of the league and now working for CBS. And this is a kind of a cool sentiment. So Amy Trask jumped on and said she just wants to hug everybody. All you folks in the chat room, all of our amazing chat room, Amy Trask wants to hug you.
Oh, nice.
Well, this was a heartbreaking end to a season for the Raiders, heartbreaking for the team, heartbreaking for the fan, and it was a season full of horrifying revelations of character and a tragic accident. So I give the head coach, the coaching staff, and the team a tremendous amount of credit for being able to nonetheless accomplish what the team accomplished. They lost to a good Bengals team. I'm going to talk more about the head coaching situation later in the show. For now, I'd like to note that I wish I could give every Raider fan a big hug.
Aw, Jeff.
That's nice.
Isn't that nice?
Aw.
Thanks, Amy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hi, this is AJ Cole from the Las Vegas Raiders, and you're listening to Murph, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Just win, baby.
This is Trent Sig, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with Murph, Swag Jeff, and Uncle Mosh. Just win, baby.
All right, appreciate everybody joining us live tonight at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Everybody that's in the chat there, we got Mr. and Mrs. Pyro, Raiderborn Rico. What's up, Rico? Pineapple's in there. Tall Ken Chit, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, our Capo is in there. Fargo Raider, Randy Hansen. What's up, Coach? Corey Fleck, Raider Loco, Bill Hawk, Tyrone Graves. Let's see. Fade to Black. What's up, Fade to Black? Paul Edgerton. Paul. B. Al is in there. Michelle Sweat is in there. A.K.A. Freddie B is in there. All Eyes on G. Dick Vitale. Tubby Child. Jesus Alvarez. Devon Howard.
QB Jeff is in there.
QB Jeff. What's up, QB Jeff? Chili Man. Ebony Graves. Zach Brewer. Oh, my gosh. Running Bear. West Virginia Raider Nation is in there. Oh, my gosh. We got Oakland Raider Trucker is in there. So many cool folks. Naomi TKO Raider Vic. Issues. Holy cow, we got a bunch of folks in the chat. We thought we were gonna have a ghost town tonight, man.
Dude, yeah, man. Yeah. We got a solid group tonight.
Awesome.
And I think it was Raiderborn Rico said, "Hey Murph, I don't like this new camera angle. So if you've tuned in late, Murph's camera died right at the top of the show, and so we flipped around Uncle Mosh's camera, so you got a little different view of Murph tonight.
Yeah, because look, so there's my camera. It's dead. It's just
if you would like for us to keep it there,
yeah,
just let us
I could
know.
just keep it on that all night long. But yeah, we figured it'd be less, much more interesting to see somebody actually moving, and not like a frozen camera. So, anyways, that's what's going on, Rico. So yeah, no, I don't like this angle either, but yeah, we're both stuck with it. So this is what you call a face made for radio, Rico.
No.
All right. So a couple things. So I'm gonna jump in here to we're gonna talk about the season as a whole.
Okay.
And we're gonna let our good friend Paul, who we normally wait until the email segment to read his email, but I thought Paul did a really great job of detailing the offseason. And so I'm gonna read through his email. And so speaking of the offseason, I've got a list of key free agent acquisitions. I'm going to read the list, and I want you, Swag Jeff, and you, chat room, just give me a yes or no. Give me
where'd this list come from? You made it. You did it?
No, these are the projected free agents for the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, technically, I made it, but these are really the guys that are going to be.
These are the ones that they're projecting that the Raiders will get.
Yeah. So so let's go. A no, a must. Right. So how about like a need, a want, or a no? Right. So like the scale of 3. You with me?
Yeah.
The guy we absolutely have to have, a need. A guy we're like, oh, it'd be nice to have. A want, that'd be fine.
Sure.
And then a guy you're like, nah.
Okay.
All right. Casey Hayward.
Need.
Quentin Jefferson.
Want.
Jonathan Hankins.
Want.
Zay Jones.
No.
Jalen Richard.
No.
Solomon Thomas.
Need.
I know where this is going.
Need. I already know what name you're going to say. Need.
Marcus Mariota.
Need.
Brandon Faison.
No.
Deshaun Jackson.
No.
Nick Morrow.
No.
KJ Wright.
No.
Brandon Parker.
Hell no. Those are the projected people that we're going to get?
No, those are your free agents.
These are your free agents that are upcoming free agents.
Yes, those are the guys that are on the team that are. So do we want to keep them or not? I love it. I love it. I love the chat is blowing up, man. Thank you all. Someone look at Carlos says Parker with a bunch of laughing faces.
What the hell are you talking about? Sign me. You know what I mean? Holy crap.
And Tall Ken Chit says, hell no on Nick Morrow. Hell no, bring back the boy. If we're gonna get a depth linebacker, just give us Will Compton.
Year 10, man.
Let's go. Year 10 in the books. Let's go,
dude.
Let's go, Will. All right, so I love it, man. Great. Aaron just says no on everybody.
No on everybody.
That's amazing.
There was a couple of yeses in there.
For who? From Aaron?
No, for me.
Oh!
Aaron did say one. Aaron. He said want MM8.
Oh, okay, MM8. All right. All right, good stuff there from everybody. Appreciate you jumping in. That was cool, chat room.
Yeah.
All right, so here's a letter from Paul.
Okay.
Paul says, good evening, all. I hope you're feeling better after the weekend. As Jim Morrison sang, this is the end, beautiful friend. Well, at least it is for now. I've never felt we had enough to get the job done against the Bengals. We seem to be working uphill all game, and despite the fact that we were still one play away right at the death, the offense was uninspiring throughout, and we shot ourselves in the foot too many times to see another dramatic win. Drop passes, dumbass penalties, and the Keystone Cops for the officials. As the final pass was intercepted and the game was over, I threw the remote across the room, made a coffee, and went to bed. Wow, that's a lot of work, making coffee and going to bed. I respect that hustle. I sat there at the wall, staring at the wall for what seemed like hours, going over things in my mind and wondering what may have been. It hurt. It was bitterly disappointing, more so because we left the field with regrets. I know we're better than that, and we should have given a better shot. Am I disappointed? Of course. Am I proud? You bet I am. The pride of pretty much everyone in this organization has eaten away at the pain over the last few days, and I'm now back up to 17-0 mode for next year. Let's go, Paul. Some will say this season hasn't been a success, but I would disagree. I think it has been. I said at the beginning of the season that come what may, we may have to make the playoffs this year at the very least, and we did despite everything. We're in pretty good shape going forward, proving the right decisions are made right now, that is. We didn't have to wait long for the first of the big decisions. Last night, Monday, news filtered through that Mike Mayock had been fired. I think this is a mistake. I've been a huge fan of Mayock since he joined, and I believe he earned the right to the role with no intrusion. Sadly, that's not to be. I hope he finds his way back onto TV and not to a rival team. If he's back on TV straight away, will his first job be the draft in Vegas? Ironic, isn't it? I agree. Mayock is amazing on TV, and not only for his draft coverage, but more so the combine. Combine of Mayock and Rich Eisen is TV gold. It's the best. I love the freaking combine. The other big decision needs resolving ASAP is at head coach. Coach Bisaccia is obviously a genuinely nice guy and loved and respected by all that know him. He's done a hell of a job through a crazy year, but I still don't feel he's the man to take us forward. I'd like to see him stay on as special teams coordinator for sure, but not in a head coaching role. One thing that scares me is that if he was given it full time, he'd almost certainly keep Greg Olson as offensive coordinator. And if that were to happen, I think I'd be sticking my head in the oven. That's a dry heat, Paul. There are numerous candidates for the role, and as I write, Jim Harbaugh seems to be the front runner. I had to admit, I don't know a lot about him, but he comes across as a similar character to Gruden, which might not be what we need. A little bit of meet the new boss, he's the same as the old boss. So as the season draws to an end for us, and always means awards season is on the horizon, culminating with the silver and black carpet spectacular that is the Fanny Awards in 2022. So before we get to the big night, here are my own awards for the year. All right, so we do a show every year, probably in like July. We call it the Fannies, and that's when we give like our awards, and it's a silly, goofy thing, but it's a lot of fun. And so here's Paul's awards, and so here's his awards. And so Swag Jeff, I want your input on these.
Okay,
and we'll kind of let's give our own answers according
before we hear Paul.
So these are the Paulies, I guess.
Okay.
So the Paulie Awards. The I Hate the Raiders Most Biased Commentator Award. This is a three-way tie. It goes to Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Mike Tirico. The last, which making a last-minute dash for the line on Saturday with a vomit-inducing, negative-filled take on anything that we did. All right. So who do you got? Who's the most negative Raider commentator?
I hate Chris Collinsworth. I hate him so much.
Yeah.
But it's not even really, he doesn't hate on the Raiders that much, but he just loves whoever is playing the Raiders. That's the thing. Like he should probably take Justin Herbert out on a date before he commentates another game for him. You know what I mean?
That's like a Madden Favre level love affair that's going on between Collinsworth and Justin Herbert.
Oh my gosh, it's stupid.
I'm with you. I'm going to go with Florio. Florio.
I mean, yeah, that's the obvious.
Florio is like he gets the Vanguard Award for being a Raider hater, like Florio does. So I'm gonna go with Florio. All right. The Gene Steratore Most Hateful Piece of Shit Award. This goes to not just an individual. Step forward, Jerome Boger and your special little crew of idiots for adding yet another almighty balls up to an ever-growing list of how to screw the Raiders. I'm sure there's a large envelope of unmarked bills waiting for you to collect at NFL HQ. While I'm on this, can someone explain to me why the officials in New York can tell officials on the field that a catch was complete or not, but they can't tell them when a whistle is blown and the play is dead and needs to be done over? I bet they would have done it at the other end of the field. It was on a third down play. They'd have kicked a field goal instead, and the point swing would have been 4, so we'd have only needed a field goal on the last drive to send it to overtime. You all know this, and I'm venting a bit, but championships and dynasties can be forged on such decisions that are made up on the spot. Tuck rule, anybody? Sorry I went off on a rant. It clearly still hurts more than I thought. I don't think there's any disputing the fact that Jerome Boger gets the Gene Steratore, according to Paul.
For the entire season? I'll give he can be self-made on that award every year.
Who?
Steratore.
Oh, well,
he can win his own award.
Well, no, he's the award is named in his honor.
He's the founder of that award. Because my blood boils every time I see a picture of him after the freaking index card game with the little shitty smirk that he's got on his face. Oh, dude.
That's the worst.
Oh, dude, it's the worst. But Booger, whatever the hell his name is, whatever.
Yeah,
I hate that guy.
Let's go with Booger Boger. Yeah, okay,
I hate that guy.
All right, best offensive player, Hunter Renfrow, consistent, reliable, and tough as they come. It's hard to argue. I
he
agree.
wins that award.
I agree.
Hands down.
We talked about last week, biggest jump. I mean, we've seen not only as a Raider player, but in the NFL. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best weapon they have, the Raiders have right now.
Totally.
If considering the health of everybody right now.
Yep.
Best defensive player, Max Crosby. Nonstop energy, desire, and will for the cause. Okay, dig it. I dig. It's hard to argue that.
Deal.
Not going to be my vote, but who do you got? You got Max?
Yeah, I got Max.
You got Max? I go Hayward. Casey Hayward.
He's a close second, man.
Money, dude. Didn't allow a touchdown all year long.
Yep.
Casey Hayward was money.
Yep.
And
freaking got the interception at the end of the season to help seal that win against the Chargers, man. And couldn't happen to a better guy.
I think if we have a healthy Trayvon Mullen, dude, him and Hayward would be money.
Well, and that's why you got to sign him in the offseason.
That's why we got to sign him.
He's a need.
He's a need. We got to have Casey Hayward back. All right, best special teams player, Daniel Carlson. Cool as a mountain stream. What a fantastic. And we want to know your guys' answers too. And by the way, I'm reading off of this, so I'm not reading the chat. We want to hear your answers because I always go back and read the chat. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Daniel Carlson, best special teams player. As cool as a mountain stream. What a fantastic year he's had, with honorable mentions to Trent Sig and AJ Cole, who never got it wrong once. What do you think? Best special teams, Swaggo?
Will Compton. Oh, playoff Willie. No.
Oh, playoff with one tackle and one almost fumble recovery.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we got our playoff Willie shirts coming from Barstool Sports.
Sweet.
Here.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I mean, it's hard to argue Daniel Carlson. I mean, come on. But, but there's an argument also to be had about AJ Cole. I mean, the dude, he led the NFL in punt yards and stuff like that.
I think you got to go with the Trinity here. I think that because
you can't name one guy.
I say it all the time. Shane Leckler, Sebastian Janikowski, and John Kondo. We have a new version of that in Trent Sig, AJ Cole, and Daniel Carlson.
And they're going to be here for a while.
Long time,
man.
They're
going to be here for a while.
They're going to be here for a long time. I think that the Trinity there and
we need to get Trent Sig some of our swag. Because we've heard from AJ Cole that guy doesn't buy any clothes for himself, right?
Well, I need him. And now that we're in the offseason, I'll hit him up because I don't want to bother him during the season. Back to name dropping again.
Yeah. You're good, buddy. Your second best friend, Trent Sick.
Second best friend, Trent Sick.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Because all he wears is the team issued gear. So yeah, man. Send him a couple shirts.
Well, what's funny is that so we had Trent on the show, right?
Yeah.
And so when he was on the show, we did a video version of that. We actually did a Zoom call.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and so it was funny. So here I am with all the Raider stuff around, right? And he's got one of his jerseys, one road jersey, a white jersey, like a completely blank wall behind him, and then one jersey, like not even in a frame, just like tacked onto the wall. And we got on the call before we started the interview, and he goes, "Oh man, I need to get my Raiders geared up." He's like, "Look at all your stuff," and I'm like, "Well, I'm kind of a fan." He's like, "Yeah, I'm embarrassed, man." He goes, "I got nothing. I got a blank wall."
Because he's got to buy it.
Well, yeah.
Because the long snapper, they don't give them jerseys in the NFL. You got to buy that stuff, right?
You got to buy that stuff, man. Yeah. They pay 8 long snappers like $8. Like, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. So maybe make Trent part of the One Nation Foundation. Try to get up that revenue for the long snapper. Anyways, so yeah, I think you got to go Trinity there. All right, best coach. Rich Bisaccia. Started off a little timid, but found his stride, and by the end of the season, he looked more at ease. A wonderful guy who did a great job in trying circumstances. I'll speak for Swaggo. I don't think there's any arguing that he was the best coach. There's slam dunk. Best surprise player. Okay, now you can go directions on this.
Oh, man.
Okay, so he goes Nate Hobbs. Not expected to be as good so soon, but after a decent preseason, he took his opportunity well and looks like a real find. I like it.
I like that call.
All right.
I like that call. Who do you got? Is that who you have?
No.
I don't. You go you first.
Okay. I got 2. And so I
wonder if we have the same ones.
Okay.
Because I have 2 as well.
Okay, you want to blurt them out at the same time?
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
Solomon
Denzel
Thomas
Perryman
and Quentin Jefferson.
No, we had 2 different ones.
Okay.
I got Denzel Perryman and Divine Diablo.
Oh,
so
okay.
Denzel Perryman at times was the leading tackler in the NFL this year.
Mm-hmm.
When he signed, we expected him to be a depth guy. And in fact, go back to Will. We talked about that when they signed Perryman, that was kind of what he was expecting that to maybe be his spot.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, well, Perryman's got an injury history and blah, blah, blah.
Well, and we thought that because back in 2020, Morrow was the guy.
Morrow was the guy, yeah.
He was freaking balling out.
So we figured Perryman was going to come in, just be a depth guy, and that was going to be it. And here he ends up being the leading tackler in the NFL, not just on the Raiders, but in the NFL at times. So that was huge. But I think the most pleasant surprise was Divine Diablo, taking Corey Littleton's spot at middle linebacker,
almost like a freaking leader in that locker room,
dude. Called out a lot of the players. Like when the Raiders turned their season around back when we were 6 and 7, that came on the heels of Diablo calling out some people in the locker room, talking about how some people weren't giving it their all and weren't, working out and doing the things that they needed to be doing. I think Divine Diablo, man, but Perryman was good all year. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence about picking a player. Perryman was was good all year. But Diablo, when he finally came into his own here at the end, dude, guy balled out. And Aaron wants him to play safety. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that he's fine. He looks good at middle linebacker, man.
If it's working, don't change it.
Let's let him go, man. I mean, he's flying all over the field, and he's a first-year guy, hasn't even put on weight yet. Let's let that dude put on 15 more pounds of muscle and handle the middle, dude. I think he's money. I love Divine Diablo in there. All right, so go on.
Yeah. I mean, I said Solomon Thomas and Quentin Jefferson because, I mean, obviously, your 2 guys on the edge. You got Yannick and you got Max on the 2 edges. But Solomon Thomas and Quentin Jefferson, they helped close out some key games and some key drives and stuff like that by the opposition. So, I mean, and we kind of talked about Solomon Thomas and stuff like that, especially because, your brother's a stupid-ass Niner fan. We kind of asked him, what are we going to get out of this guy? You ain't going to get much, man. Maybe a rotational guy a little bit. And he was a rotational piece, but, I mean, pleasantly surprised me in a big way. I mean, obviously, I wanted to pick something that's a little more, deep with it. Because everyone will say Nate Hobbs Dobbs, and a lot of people say Trayvon Merrick, stuff like that. Issues in the chat says Andre James, who kind of came into his own.
Oh, you know what? That's a great call out.
That's an incredible call out because because he had some pretty hefty shoes to fill, man, with All Pro, with Rodney Hudson. I mean, that's a big role to step into, man. So he kind of started out a little shitty, but came to his own and was on top half of the center lists or whatever in the NFL. So absolutely. And B. Al, I don't know if it was a joke or not. It says Dolan Levitt, but
you know what?
We've
given Dolan Levitt. I'll own it. I have given Dolan Levitt a really hard time and taken some cheap shots at that guy. All throughout the season. But you know what, dude? When frickin' Abram went down and he was called into play tons of freaking minutes and snaps.
Totally.
Did great.
Totally.
He freaking great. And he flies around all over the field. The guy, he played well enough to earn a spot on the roster for next year, man.
Yeah, for a practice squad safety, the guy kind of came in and stepped up and said, okay, this is my spot to take. Yeah,
did well. I think that's great, man. No, that's a great. And you know what? And look, this is like calling the Beatles overrated, but freaking Hunter Renfrow was a surprise when forced into having to be
the guy.
The guy. I mean, he excelled. So it was unexpected. We all knew he was great in the slot and did his little thing and third and Renfrow and all that kind of stuff. But when he became the focal point of the offense, no one expected that to happen. So anyway.
And it shouldn't.
And he shouldn't have been.
And it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
But, you get put in those situations and you do your thing.
Absolutely. All right, next up. So he's got, back to Paul's email here. We're doing our end of season here.
Oh, yeah, we're still in Paul's email.
We're still in Paul's email. I know, we got to get moving
You're at
here.
the top of the show.
We might go, I don't know, we might go long, but we're taking 2 weeks off, so you good to go long if we have to?
We good, man.
Hang in there, chat room. Appreciate all of you. All right, unsung hero. A.J. Cole for his punting, but also the best tackle of the year against the Chiefs. That was money. When he lodged that ball loose, that might have been the most electrifying play on defense all year long. That was fantastic.
Only second to Hunter Renfrow. Only first is Hunter Renfrow's tackle against the
wait a minute. No, I'm mixing them up.
Yeah. But AJ Cole did force a fumble.
It was a forced fumble? Yeah?
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think that was against the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, that's what he's got here against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? So
You're thinking of Hunter Renfrow.
Was against, what was that against?
That incomplete pass against the Chargers.
That's what it was on the fake punt. That's what it was. Okay, I'm convoluting the plays. I'm getting old, guys. Yeah, so I'm with that. The unsung hero, yeah. AJ Cole. Although, again, to make it about 47, no one celebrates the long snapper who touches the ball on every special teams play.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to overlook a guy like that. So I would at least throw that name in.
Sure.
Biggest disappointment, Henry Ruggs, as who he's got here. Yeah, I mean, he says Henry Ruggs, enough said. I'll give you mine, then I want to hear from you.
Okay.
I think Henry Ruggs is a disappointment because we did off the field. That's what is disappointing.
Sure.
On the field, he was actually doing very well.
He was about to have a career year.
He was going to break out. We were in the midst of his breakout. I think the disappointing player to me is John Abram. I love freaking Jonathan Abram. I love his mentality. I love his ethic. I love, his tenacity on the field. I love his explosiveness. There's so many things about John Abram I like, but his liability and coverage, gosh, you know what I mean? He just can't get past that.
Yeah.
And look, if you're going to be a starting safety in the NFL, look, I'm not, no one's expecting you to be Ed Reed. We don't expect you to be a Hall of Fame coverage, safety, but
that's
you can't be that bad that you're getting freaking mossed by backup running backs. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So I think I'm going to go with John Abram.
Yeah. I'm going to go with a rookie. I'm going to go with Alex Leatherwood. I'm gonna go with Leatherwood.
Yeah, that's fair.
He had his good moments, he had his bad moments, but the freaking penalties. The penalties,
dude.
man. How many drives did this dude kill?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, man. I know you're a rookie, but you take snaps in college too. That's job number one. Learning how to get off the ball. You learn that shit in high school. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's
come on, man.
Even though you're used to the speed of the SEC, which is as close as you're going to get to NFL speed.
Yeah.
Those freaking edge rushers in the NFL are a whole lot different than freaking Clemson or, UT or
sure
Florida, and whatever the teams that you're going up against as an Alabama right and left tackle.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The speed of the NFL is a lot different, and you get real jumpy real fast. So I'm with you, dude. That's a great call out.
Yeah.
You're right. He killed us on a lot of drives.
He killed us on a ton of drives. I mean, I started week 1, man. I mean, look at that. I mean, we were... I think we were goal line. I mean, he was already jumping offside, like 1st and goal at the 1 or 4th and goal at the 1 or something like that. I mean, he did it all year long, man. And, you see flashes of greatness, but, you're a first-round pick, bro.
Well,
do your thing.
Well, let's just say this. Everybody was ready to run Colton Miller out of town after his first year, too. And
that is
Colton
true.
Miller was arguably the best player on the offensive line this year and has really come into his own. So let's hope the same for Alex Leatherwood because he's not going anywhere.
Nope, he's not.
I see it in the chat. I mean, people are blowing him up, and but here's the thing, man. He's not going anywhere. So let's root for the young man and hope.
We'll root for him for sure, but disappointed.
Disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. You know what I mean?
There you go, Dad. All right, all right. Special Raiders Hero Award. He goes John Madden.
Totally.
Okay. Yes,
totally.
I agree.
Enough said.
I agree. Enough said. All right. The main award of the night.
Okay.
He says MVP, Hunter Renfrow. There's nothing this kid can't do. He's been an inspiration. I can't speak highly enough for him. He should have been given a blank check immediately along with Harem Ferraris for life and MJ Acosta's phone number.
Nice.
I'll go back to a phrase I once used for Mike Mayock. If I came home and Hunter Renfrow was in bed with my wife, I'd tuck him in. I'm not married, but I'm thinking of doing it just to prove a point.
Nice.
We're headed for a busy preseason then, folks. Changes are coming, and the hiring and firing will continue, plus players' contracts, the draft in Vegas, free agency. We're not going to be short of things to talk about, and at least the preseason was 1 week shorter this year. Stay positive, everybody. I know we're still in a bit of a cloud at the minute because of Saturday, but there's still a lot to be positive about, and every cloud has a silver and black lining. Best wishes to the Titans, Bengals, and Bills. If there is a God, one of you should be able to stop the filth that is KC from going much further.
Oh, gosh, yes.
The thought of another Queefs and Niners Super Bowl is making me more than nauseous. I agree. We're a little biased, but go Titans, man. I mean, let's take care of the damn Chiefs, man. Knock out the Bengals beat us, and the Titans are going to play the Bengals, so I'm hoping they beat the Bengals, and then they'll beat the Chiefs, and then they can go to the Super Bowl, whatever. It ain't the Raiders, so none of it matters.
They're going to beat the Chiefs next round?
They better.
I don't think the Chiefs are going to get past the divisional.
You don't think so?
Hell no.
Think the Bills are going to smoke them?
Bills might go all the freaking way, dude.
Dude, that game is going to have all of the offense.
All the offense.
The Bills had a perfect game on offense against the Patriots. Unbelievable.
Josh Allen is playing
that
out of control.
That dude's money, dude. That dude's money.
He won me my fantasy playoff.
Did he really?
Absolutely.
There you go. Yeah, that
Absolutely.
dude. Well, I hope you're right.
I think it'll be.
And if it comes down to Bills Titans, to see who goes to Super, great.
Okay. Music City Miracle Part 2.
Whatever.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's not the Chiefs. And then the NFC, I'm with them. Anybody but the damn Niners.
I don't think the Niners or Tom Brady is going to get out of the divisional round.
Who do you think? The Rams?
I think the Rams are.
I don't know about the Rams, dude.
Man, I'm telling
Stafford, bro.
They look good. They look good. They look good. And and then it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, fanboy in me wants to see Aaron Rodgers and Tommy Boy go at it.
Oh, sure.
That's
of course.
That's the storyline right there.
Just a fan of football. Of course, that's what you want to see.
That's what you want to see. Yeah, yeah. All right, so Paul says, stay safe, Raider Nation, RFR family. I love you. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, BRT Sizzler Scorekeeper, Proud Made Man.
5-time. Did I go early on that? You just stumbled on.
I stumbled on my word.
you jackass.
And you went all Alex Leatherwood. Follow the cadence, Swaggo. All right.
Shit.
All right, hold on. Let's start this again. Okay, ready? We're good. We're good. We're good.
No. Kill.
Kill.
All right.
His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, BRT Scissor Scorekeeper, proud made man, five-time +1 winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Scissor Award. Good job, Paul.
That was the longest email in RFR history.
Paul sent us one email, and we turned it into 94 minutes of content.
Yeah.
Paul.
Premature swaggeration.
Paul, your name Paul?
Paul.
I met him with Paul.
Who?
Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
Okay, so before we move on to the next segment, so we didn't get to answer our last question.
What was that?
The MVP of the team.
Oh, okay.
You go. Do you agree with him that it's Hunter Renfrow?
So are we just keeping it strictly players?
You pick whoever the hell you want to pick.
I mean, MVP of. I mean, I go Coach Bisaccia.
You do?
Yeah. If I'm allowed to pick somebody that's not a player, because I think when you have levels of adversity like what the Raiders had, if you don't have an absolute stud rock of a leader at the top of your organization, it just falls apart because you've got somebody has got to be the constant, the consistent voice, and he's such a positive, encouraging, level-headed, you know what I mean? Like, he's a leader of men, man. And so if without that, this whole thing goes to pot. And Hunter Renfrow doesn't get to be Hunter Renfrow without that. So if we're talking just in the entirety of the organization, I'm gonna go with Coach Bisaccia. And that is not even me thinking that like he's necessarily the best for the job next year. Like, because I don't know. I mean, it depends on who else is in the mix. But in terms of what the Raiders needed in this season to make the playoffs and to rebound in a way to where they can win 4 in a row, that's your MVP. That's the guy that kept it all damn together.
Well, it's funny that you say those words because all those words are the words that I could say to say mine. And not to say that your answer is wrong or Paul's answer is wrong, because I think
there is no wrong answer.
There is no wrong answer here, but I'm going to go Derek.
Oh,
I'm just going to go Derek because, you know, that may be a controversial answer because, you know, he shit the bed for a few weeks during the season and stuff like that. But, you know, he's our captain. He's our QB1. He's our guy. And the team looks to him. And, you know, especially the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, you know, if you can give a partial MVP award for the last few weeks of the season, you know, he's the guy. You know, he kind of held this team together as well as Rich did. And
I agree.
Like
that's a good point.
You know, especially red ass Derek. You know,
that was cool, man.
You know, to see him kind of like, you know, be all fired up and stuff, see a side of Derek that you don't normally see. That was money, dude. And I think that really, you know, because you could see it on the sideline. You could see it firing up other people. I mean, you know,
dude, Sunday Night Football, he comes running out of the tunnel. He runs a 4.140 coming out of the tunnel. Dude was locked in and intense from day one, or from minute one in that game. So that's a great point, Swaggo.
Yeah, totally.
This is Raiders Fan Radio. I'm Brent Musburger, and I don't care who wins as long as it's the Raiders.
What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Will Compton. You're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with my boys Murph, Swaggy Jeff, and Uncle Mosh. Tune in because they fucking put out a banger podcast. Murph, Swag Jeff, and who's the third guy?
Our third guy is Uncle Mosh, and we're missing him tonight. Unfortunately, Uncle Mosh couldn't make it tonight.
And he was in the chat for, he texted me and said he was in the chat for like 8 seconds. And then the internet's died at his house.
Oh. because they have to truck in daylight and internet to his house.
Yeah, for sure.
But Uncle Mosh is at home taking care of Aunt Kathy, who's got the COVIDs, and so much prayers up and well wishes to Aunt Kathy and anybody else that's listening to this and having to deal with this crap. And we know it's running rampant all over the place, and everyone's dealing with it. And so we're thinking about you, and just know that. All right, Swag Jeff, hit the chat room real quick, and then let's jump into the draft.
Absolutely. Donovan Howard's in there. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. Mark Thompson's in there. Michelle Sweat. Lee B. Kill Jadis. Rogue Code. Fade to Black. Let's see who else we got in there. Issues. Mr. and Mrs. Pyro's in there. Fargo Raider. Ron the Mater Raider. Raider Vic. Let's see. Coach Randy Hansen's in there.
Hey, Coach.
Eye Patch. Carlos is in there. Gord Peterson's in there. Let's see who else we got. Tyrone Graves is in there. Ram Raiders in there. Naomi TKO's in there. Shoot, man, we got so many people, man. 140 people in there right now.
Awesome, man. Appreciate all of you joining us here for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. And all right, so let's talk a little bit about the draft, and I mean a little bit about the draft because so the Raiders are officially now the 22nd pick in the draft, and we're going to do plenty of draft speculation in the future weeks and months as we roll up to April to the draft.
We need to get QB Jeff in here for that.
Well, thank you for saying that. Yeah, so we saw QB Jeff today. Of course, his podcast that he does with is the Group of Five guys, where they highlight all of the non-Power 5 conferences. And QB Jeff, like that guy, consumes, well, of course, because he's a former NCAA starting quarterback, that dude consumes more football, college football, than anybody else that we know.
Yeah.
And he is an amazing resource and knowledge source when it comes to the draft and players. And so we're going to have Jeff in probably multiple times as we lead up to the draft and talk about like what the Raiders could do in terms of like strategy, positions of need, all that kind of good stuff. And then also we'll find out if we make any trades and things like,
sure.
I mean, could Derek Carr be on the move or whatever? We'll find out. But so I don't think the Raiders the draft is set yet. We don't even have a GM.
Absolutely not.
So this 22nd pick, I don't think that's a done deal yet. I think that could certainly change as we go forward. So we'll wait to get Jeff's input on a lot of that. So know that we'll have a lot of that coming your way. But what I do want to make a point is this, is that the other day when I took a break from kicking things in the house because I was pissed off because of inadvertent whistles, we had so much fun this year. I mean, I think that, like, just allow me to speak personally here for a second. I made too many trips to Vegas this year. I'm not making 6 Vegas trips again. This 40
that was like your second home.
This almost 49-year-old liver and can't take 6 freaking trips to Vegas anymore. But what I will do, I'm going to make a couple. And after the game was over and the season was over, we had such an amazing time celebrating Raider Nation in Las Vegas. We had our trip together. Sonny and I had a trip together. Of course, we had Mosh out there. Like it was just, and all of our amazing friends. And there are too many people to name. You know who you are. So I was feeling nostalgic. It was like I got to the end of it, and it was like, oh man, I'm kind of missed now that Las Vegas thing. And so I wasn't even thinking I was going to go to the draft, but I'm going now. I booked my room, booked the flight. Everything's done. So. I don't know what we're going to do RFR-wise, but we're going to do something. We'll post up somewhere. We'll do live broadcasts. We'll get the made folks together. So if you're going to the draft, and you ain't got to do it now because we've got plenty of runway and plenty of time to figure this all out. But going forward, if you're making draft plans, let us know so we can all link up. I'm sure we'll do some sort of a meetup at a minimum somewhere, and just get a chance to break bread, share some cocktails, and celebrate this Raider thing and have a good time. Drafts are chill, man. Like draft is fun because there's not a big game to go to. It's not like the drafts that I've attended have been just an absolute blast. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, it all kind of works up to one moment and then it's over, and then you're just back partying again. Like it's really fun. So let us know if you're doing any of that. I see we got some super chats going in there. Swag, shout those out, and then let's get into the Sea of Fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack Kenna, $5 donation to the One Nation Foundation. Leatherwood is a bad movie. Should be called Leatherface, the killer of drives. Absolutely. And then, and I know, let's see, I think Kevin the Raider Nerd had another one in there, and as well as Piper 1975. So thank you guys so much. That's so awesome. And thanks to everyone in the chat. Let's see, James Furpo's in there, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Fargo Raider, Trinidad, our buddies in there.
Hey, Trin.
Yeah, man. Eye Patch is in there, Donovan Howard, Coach Randy Hansen's in there, Carlos, Paul is in there, Holcomb family's in there, Michelle Sweat, Aussie Raider Aaron's in there, Mark Thompson. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and let's head to the Sea of Fans.
There he is, baiting, looking. He's under the gun. He's caught, he's thrown. It is! He caught it!
All right, so here at Raiders Fan Radio, there's numerous ways for you to. Sorry, I just had the camera on you. The whole
you did. I was about to take over there.
It was all right. I got locked into my phone here.
You did.
So appreciate. What are we doing? Which one's me? There are numerous ways to contact us here at the show. So you can join in the chat like all these amazing folks have tonight at youtube.com. Was that what it is? YouTube.com/RaidersFanRadio. What the hell happened to me here? I fell apart all of a sudden.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So check us out there live in the chat room, or you can email the show.
Yes, at our very creative email address, which is show@RaidersFanRadio.com.
Or you can call us at 909-345-3346. You can call us anytime. That hotline is open 24/7. And if we play your voicemail 3 times on the show, we refer to you as a made man or a made woman. Or if you email us an indefinite amount of times, we will refer to you as the same. And so we've already read Paul's email.
Yes.
But we've got one more tonight. And Swag Jeff, who do we have?
Yeah, and I was checking. Fargo Raiders still no email, so we'll just have to
wait till the next show,
till the Super Bowl to get made, maybe. Let's see. Here we go. Email. Just want to say that I'm damn proud of this team. They fought to the very end. Am I disappointed in the performance? I don't even know right now. All the penalties ended up being more than they could overcome this time. I think instead of blaming the coaches, line, Carr, receiver, I'm just thankful that they never quit. Is this the ending any of us wanted? Of course not. But they made the playoffs and took it down to the final seconds, fighting the whole way. As far as the head coach decision, it'll be interesting. I like Coach. That's where I am on it, but I don't make the call. I know we didn't make the splash in the playoffs, but he made waves getting us there. I know Harbaugh is a name floating around. I like Harbaugh, but it took the guy like 6 years to finally beat Michigan's rival Ohio State. Will the nation be happy with blowing it 5 years in a row? Maybe, as we've gotten used to it. The saying is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It comes around with a twist. Coach got thrown into position to lead this team that sure as hell looked broken at the time, a team that so many gave up on. I personally said how they sucked both before and after the Browns game. Did the team fold? No, they strung together 4 in a row to make the playoffs and send a division rival home crying. And did they do this with who? And they did this with who at the helm? I'm not saying that it was all because of Coach. I'm just saying that I think he deserves a shot to prove what he can do. The players play for him. Plus he has a better regular season record than John Gruden. Oh, and F the refs. That Cincy not touchdown was whistled dead before he caught it. When will it stop? Raiders.
Let's go.
Dave in Ohio.
Let's go, Dave. That's our buddy Dave in the 330, yeah?
Well, yeah.
Nice. Appreciate you, Dave. Appreciate those emails. And yeah, so email the show, and if we play them or read them a few times, and we'll get you here in to be a made man or a made woman. And all right, so next up, we're going to get to the voicemails. So the leader of the crew, every crew needs a captain. And so the leader of the made men and the made women is Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. We call him the Capo, and he always kicks off this segment.
Greetings, Don Murphy, Underboss, Sonny, Consigliere, Uncle Mosh, Swag Jeff, QB Jeff, hell, any Jeff for that matter, Young Chili Duff when the universe speaks, and thoughts and prayers for you-know-who, Big Raider Trucker, our Sergeant at Arms, Splatterhead from Endeavor Nation, Ron the Mater Raider, Nation. You know, this is the first time that I've ever dialed this number from memory. You know, in the back of my mind, I heard, some friendly voice talking about 909-345-3346, and it worked. So let's go ahead and talk about, my call this week. And we'll start off with defensive end extraordinaire Max the Condor Crosby, who said it was tough whenever he found out that, GM Mike Mayock, Money Mike Mayock to me and you, had been released on Monday. He'd like to see the team avoid making the same, mistake whenever it came to interim head coach Rich Bisaccia, who happens to be 61 years of age. And Crosby noted that on the Rich Eisen show, we like the Rich Eisen show, but he was there and he made a mention of, being a fourth-round pick in the 2019 draft and how Mayock looked out for him and during the first 3 years of his NFL career, which made all the difference, in the world to him and made it that much more difficult. He also sang Bisaccia's, praises and echoed Derek Carr's belief that, he should get the job, on a permanent basis. Rich is a one-of-a-kind guy, Crosby said. Everybody's been asking, what's happening, what's going on? Everybody knows my vote. And I made it very clear. I love Rich. I think he's the best man for the job. He's come in and he's done an amazing job, and nobody can actually dispel that. The Raiders won 10 games with him, despite the tragedy, the loss, and everything that you can imagine, and the kitchen sink being thrown at this particular organization. And you know what? He is a leader of men. Now, conveniently, even DC4 put his dig into saying that Bisaccia was the man for the job. That's all you can ask for. The players' opinions will likely reach the owner, Mark Davis's ears, but, it remains to be seen whether or not it'll carry the day. Now, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Raiders have requested interviews of New England Patriots inside linebackers coach Gerard Mayo and their player director of personnel, Dave Ziegler. Honestly, I really don't like the idea of bringing in anybody from the Pats organization, but who the hell am I? They've also reached out, and it's been reported that they're going to make contact with Indianapolis Colts assistant general manager Ed Dodds. Whatever. Yes, they've got a nice offensive line they've put together and good defensive parts, but who knows what's really going down. I just miss Money Mayock. And at 63, I think we could use a little bit of youth on both of those positions. Now, Mayock, whom I affectionately also know as the Kango Kid, has been the team's general manager since 2019 after previously serving as a draft analyst for NFL Network. And he did well. We can always look up and, give a tip of the cap proverbially because he brought us Josh Jacobs, Max Crosby, Hunter Renfrow, Nate Hobbs. Trayvon Mullen and Trayvon Merrick and Devon Diablo. Hey, I'm telling you, those are solid picks. However, I think with his release on Monday, he's paying for the sins of drafting Cleveland Ferrell, also Jonathan Abram. I don't care what anybody says. I don't want to hear anything about anybody's thoughts that this guy might mature into something. The fact that you put him and mature in the same sentence, I question you off the rip. But this guy thinks that, he's Jack Tatum, my favorite Raider of all time, and that at an undersized position that he can actually go up there and knock everybody down. That's why he stays hurt. The guy is dumb as a doggone bag of hammers, and we just got to wrap our heads around it. But Mayock is also paying for the Damon Arnett situation. Taking Brian Edwards. He can't stay on the field. Alex Leatherwood. The misfortune of Henry Ruggs, albeit justified or not. Great pick, terrible life decision. And the mismanagement of Lynn Bowden. I'm never letting that go. He's a bigger, better version and faster version of Hunter Renfrow. Imagine if we had them both. Why make him a running back? Now, the organization is set to conduct interviews with Chicago Bears executive Champ Kelly. Okay, whatever. I'm here for it. Now, let's move on a little bit. A lot of bit. So, nation, vote in the chat. Do it now. Who do you want as your new head coach? Eric Bieniemy, Byron Leftwich, Dabo Swinney, Doug Peterson, Jim Harbaugh, the Red Ass, Brian Daboll, Kellen Moore, Mike Tomlin, Gerard Mayo, hell, keeping Rich Bisaccia, Jim Schwartz, Brian Flores. Make your opinion heard in the chat. Now, the last thing that I want to bring up, well, maybe not the last thing, but bear with me. We did bring our field goal kicker to a touchdown competition against the Bengals last week, but I digress. I'm not the only person who had something to say because former Bengals cornerback Adam Pac-Man Jones, yes, that Adam Pac-Man Jones, made an appearance on the D&H Sports podcast, presumably from the Script Club, but I digress. Jones spoke out at length about, Derek Carr and gave him praise for his leadership qualities. Really? I beg to differ with that. However, he also saw a scenario in which, Carr wilts under pressure. Does this sound like a Bosa, type of a take? But here we go. We have to make Carr feel uncomfortable. Now, I know he didn't say it that articulately, but bear with me again. When he's back there and feeling comfortable, he can throw the ball anywhere. Everybody knows he can throw the ball. But the first time you hit him, he's one of the first ones that will tuck his tail and go into halftime. Now, so I think I have to be physical up front. Let him know it's going to be a long day, and I think he'll tap out. Now, you have multiple defensive players from multiple teams, and this is the way they see our quarterback. Win, lose, or draw, that's just the reality of the situation. Now, silver linings. Las Vegas Raiders receiver Hunter Renfrow has been listed as the 10th best NFL receiver by Pro Football Focus, yes, our favorite, as the end of the regular season came to bear. Renfrow, he ranked ahead of players such as DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown, and Terry McLaurin, all of whom were selected in the same draft as Renfrow. Stew on that. The hit list. Jackson Mahomes, Tyrone Boger and his whole damn crew. Gene Steratore plus the entire NFL offensive video review team. Jim Rowe, Mike Wilbon, Jason Whitlock, and, of course, Insurrectionists. Root.
Oh, let's go, Capo.
Nice.
Great job, my friend. Great job, as always. That's why he's the leader of the crew around here. We love to hear from the Capo. And always with the most salient points, the hottest takes, man. I mean, listen, when you're calling Lynn Bowden Jr. better than Hunter Renfrow, that's a pretty hot freaking take.
Yep.
I don't know if I agree entirely, but I'll tell you this. I don't think that was Mayock's call. I think it's a Gruden thing.
It was a Gruden
And that's where, like, a lot of this stuff, like the more we get distance away from Gruden, and now that Mayock's gone and he's being a lot more vocal around things, I think there's a lot of things that the
Gruden was all about the home run.
And his guys. He's a guy. He's my guy. He's my guy. He's my guy. Like, we heard that so many freaking times. And, like, you know what? I don't think a lot of the guys that were Gruden guys were Mayock guys. But just my opinion. What do I know?
Right. So before we move into the emails, into the voicemails, we did get an email from Fargo Raider.
Let's go, Fargo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, right at the buzzer right here. So salutations, and actually someone's calling the hotline right now. So we'll send that to voicemail. We'll get you on the next week. Salutations, Murph, Uncle Mosh, and Swaggy Jeff. What an incredible seasons we've had. We've endured so much adversity that we would have destroyed any other team. Period. I'm reminded of the tweet by Tim Brown discussing the effect it took them losing Stacey Torin, which we talked about last week on the show.
Yes.
And how long it took for them to face and overcome the grief of that loss. We found our will to win after enduring hit jobs and heartache. R.I.P. Tina Tintor. And won 4 straight games to get a chance to dance. This team reminded me of the history of this franchise to be in great games close in the fourth quarter. We fell short this time, but let's try to appreciate this year of the pure resilience that it took for our beloved Silver and Black demonstrated. I saw a team who wouldn't give up and punched all the way to the end. I'm a proud Raider fan today because we played our hearts out. While today we didn't walk away victorious, we did not go silently into the night.
Let's go.
We fought until the bitter end, and it took a big-ass bite out of that effing tiger. We'll be back, and we'll be back with a grudge. Signing off from the land of ice and snow, Fargo Raider.
Let's go, Fargo.
Heck yeah, man.
Let's go. That's our buddy Josh, man. Great job there, Fargo. Appreciate you getting that thing in there at the buzzer, and congratulations.
And guess what? You're at the table now, bruh.
Let's go, man. Newest made man.
You are a made man. You showed you are part of the family by participation. By chance, a man like yourself should make enemies, then they would become my enemies. Showing you are a friend of Raiders Fan Radio, you have leapt across the line. Friendship is everything. Friendship is more than talent. It is more than the government. It's almost equal to family. Be loyal. Made man, Raider fan. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this as a gift. And don't ever forget, words can hurt more, but silence can break hearts.
I love that, man. It's been a long time since we've had a two-made person show, man.
Dude.
That's money, dude.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
legit.
Well,
So-
and normally when that happens, we kind of lump them both in together. So it was kind of cool to, each one of them got to stand on the podium for a minute.
Got to hit the music twice time, man.
Absolutely,
So,
dude.
since we're running long tonight, Swag Jeff.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to bear with me. And,
Okay.
and those that are in the chat room, Fargo Raiders in there, Jack Kenna, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Kill Jadis, Eye Patch, Donovan, Randy, of course, Coach Hansen, Lee B, Aussie Raider, Raider Loco, so many folks, Lalo Meloso, Corey Fleck. I'm going to read down the list since we've added so many names here lately.
Dude, yeah.
And it's getting lengthy. So this could be in a segment to its own, but
That's fine.
we're going to take a break here for a couple weeks after this show. So let's just get long and let's celebrate the table. So we mentioned the folks that sit around the table. And one thing I will note that as I'm reading down this list, listen to all, not just the names, but the locations, man. This is what makes Raider Nation so amazing and so global. So here we go. Let's get it from the top. In no particular order. Jimmy Zebach, Hardcore Raider, Johnny in San Diego, Chuck Splatterhead McCann, Ron in Alliance, Alaska Raider, Dakota Raider, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Red in Yakima, Jim from the East Coast, Yayo in Jersey, Big Raider Trucker, Wyoming Raider, Diego in Georgia, Running Bear in Tulare, Mojo Raider, Junior in San Diego, Beto, you know the city.
Yeah, we do.
One Nation Jeff, 24 Karat Kev, the cool ass Raider. Paul in Shropshire, Mississippi, UK. Kevin the Raider Nerd. Dave in the 330. Ruben in Vegas. Alex in Tucson. Eye Patch, Raider 1, Rev Raider. Max in San Diego. B-Dog in a pasture in Texas. Jesse in Kentucky. Houston Raider Steve. Ev Dog. Raider Rue in Utah. Monster Mash Kim. James in Arkansas. Chucktown Raider. Haley in Scotland. Lino the Full Metal Mexican. Central Valley Raider. RBK Raider. Coach Davis. Raider Ramon. Raider Born Rico. Raider Trucker Dan. Sugar Shane. Super Deuce. Daniel Mangus. Just Win Johnny. Matthew Mangus. Pirate 1975. JC Raider. Fabricator Gil in the IE. Big Mike. Tyrone Graves, OG Daniel, Raider Chemist, Raider Karaoke Kid, Grampy Raider, Maritime Granny, Raider Flash, The Raider Critique, Frank and NorCal, Michelle Sweat, Adam Hill, Raider Jeff and KC, Miguel Ruiz, Scotland's own David Love, Stacy Rough Raider, Kill Jadis, The Big Easy, Tide Raider, Edgar V, Lalo Melosa, Erica S, Adam in San Diego, Trinidad Storm, Duke Raider, Duke City Raider, Atticus B. Rockin', and now Fargo Raider. Let's go, Maine folks. Celebrate y'all, man. Love you. Thank you so much for what you do. Be a part of Raiders Fan Radio.
My gosh, that's unbelievable,
Isn't that freaking
man.
badass, dude?
That's familiar, bro.
Oh, dude, it's so good, man.
That's so awesome.
So good. So appreciate all of you so very, very
And we
much.
got so many new people in here. Vata Loco said that he first tuned in last week and said, I'll never miss another show.
Oh, thank you, Vata
So, man,
Loco. Appreciate you.
email us, call us. I think, who was the other one? Raider Cam was just in there saying, follow you guys on Twitter. Love the follow. And this is the first time tuning in to a live
Right
show.
on, man.
So,
Love
hey, the table keeps growing, man. Let's keep it on growing, man.
Love it, man. So Raider Born Rico throws up a cheers. And then Michelle Sweat says, love this made family. Michelle Sweat, you know we love you
My
too.
gosh, man.
And so let's go ahead and let's celebrate Michelle by kicking off this segment.
Oh.
The voicemails with Michelle's call.
Oh, I can't wait for these. These are always good.
These are the best. Okay, so Michelle texted me and she said, my call might have had a little bit of a sad sack.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, dude.
I'm out here on my back patio, freezing my ass off, crying like a little bitch because I love this fucking team so much. I really wanted to win for these guys after the shit show season we had. Shit. And I get it. Like, I realize that they're probably not even like a playoff ready team. Just kicking field goals, it doesn't win playoff games. Like, I know that in my head. But, man, we made it to the fucking playoffs. Against a lot of odds, we fucking made it. We had a season no one thought we would have, so everyone that doubted this team and continued to shit on us, fuck you. We're coming for you next season. Bet on that. Forever screaming Raider Nation. Love you guys.
Michelle, we love you too, man. Great job. That was awesome.
My gosh, man.
So damn funny, dude.
I'm going to tell you, man, Michelle and Lamont are like two of my favorite people of all time.
Ever.
Like,
Absolutely.
ever.
And I love it when Michelle, you hear the LA come out in her every time she calls in, like when she's like feeling feisty.
You know,
because that was the second time, and I remember the first time when she left one of those like reaction messages. She's like, I don't even like barely recognize myself, and I'm like, yeah, you sound like you're from LA. Like I don't hear Tennessee in you at all.
Not
I hear
at
all
all.
Los Angeles
Not
Raider
at
fan
all.
going on
and
right
that
there.
might have been the first call that we've ever got that starts with a beep. Like there was no like, hey, what's up, guys, or or anything like that. It just started with the beep. I love that. That's incredible. Oh, it's so good.
Good job, Michelle, man. That's so good.
We love you, Michelle.
All right, next up, let's hit. Okay, so this guy calls himself the northernmost Raider fan. So you got Fargo Raider up there at the top of North Dakota, and then only above him is Kiljadis up there in Alaska. And of course, Kiljadis calls in always with the most amazing impression of Macho Raider Savage, and it's very conversational.
Hold up. Right there. You see, he stepped on a bounce. Not the boat skill did it. We just got screwed. I'm going to beat those refs senseless.
Now, hold on a minute. Put the Slim Jim away for a sec. Did you just make a club out of Slim Jim?
Yeah. You know how hard my knee club is.
Firstly, hard pause on that one. Secondly, you seriously have a problem. And thirdly, before you start slapping people's faces with your meat stick, pause, you should look closely and you'd see that his foot is in bounds.
But the ref blew the whistle, and the other refs turned him down. Therefore, we got screwed. Is one of the refs named Dixon Ben?
And okay, calm down there, Bret Hart. Don't tantrum your way back to Montreal.
Well, then what is it? Did we not get screwed?
Well, as a matter of fact, you caught something there. That whistle. Do you know what that whistle is?
A regular whistle from Smitty's officials apparel?
No, that's an inadvertent whistle. An inadvertent whistle is when the official blows his or her whistle accidentally while the play is live. And if you look at the rule book, it explains everything on Rule 7, Section 2, Article 103. And I quote, when an official sounds the whistle erroneously while the ball is still in play, the ball becomes immediately dead. That includes if the ball was a loose ball resulting from a forward pass, a free kick, a fair catch, or a scrimmage kick, and the ball is returned to the previous spot and the down is replayed.
So they replayed the down instead of going with the touchdown. So then we did get screwed.
Yes, we did.
I knew it. I'm going to find them, and I'm going to beat them until their faces turn red. Pause. I'm going to take my meat club and shove it down their throats.
Pause again. And I'm going to... Okay, if Carl Nassif was here, he'd be getting hot and bothered. Just stop.
Well, how come you're not angry about this as I am?
I am, but at the same time, we could have dug our way out of it. We had plenty of opportunities to do better, but mistakes were made, and we had to live with the consequences of how our team played.
Well, that's awfully positive to you. Are you sick? You have the Rona? Are you standing on death's door?
No, it's just that the Raiders have done what I wanted them to do. Think about it. They made the playoffs. After so many years of not making it, they made the playoffs. That was the goal that I set for them. At the minimum, I wanted them to win a wild card slot, but you know, they did that. They met the minimum. I couldn't be more content. Yes, the game didn't go our way, and I think our team should have beaten the Bengals. But considering how much we've gone through, and we still made the playoffs, I'm glad, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm glad that they did, even though it was disappointing.
Exactly.
And we could use it as a stepping stone. I expect the Raiders to go farther than that next season.
Exactly.
Well, then let's bring on next season. Oh, yeah.
All right, there he is. Kiljadis, the northernmost Raider fan. Good job, buddy. That was awesome, man. Always love his so conversational. I love the back and forth there between Macho Raider Savage. Jack Kenna with a $5 donation just jumped in there.
Nice.
Go ahead and read that, Swaggo.
Yeah, Mac, earlier you and I agreed Tomlin is the perfect fit for the next head coach of the Raiders. Problem, Tomlin is under contract. Would you trade Derek Carr for him?
Oh, wow. That's a great scenario. Yes, I think I would.
You think so?
I mean, it's not, again, we're talking the most overly blown hypotheticals. Neither one, it's never going to happen.
Well, we say that.
Well, we say that. But I mean, once upon a time, Al Davis traded freaking John Gruden for Warren Sapp. You know what I mean? Like, practically. I mean, he'd certainly trade him for draft picks. So, I mean, I don't know. Is it possible? Sure. But, I mean, because here's the only reason I say this. Derek gives you a window of success. Tomlin gives you a bigger window of success because Tomlin's going to coach in the NFL for 25 more years probably.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? And like Derek's going to play for what, 5, 6, 8, 10 tops? You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's
Well,
what
and Fade to Black says, well, then what do we do with Mariota? Well, he might become your starting quarterback.
Well, your bridge quarterback anyways
You're-
until you
yeah,
draft your guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, the bridge guy, sure. He may not be the long-term answer.
Or you just go batshit crazy and you bring in Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers and frickin' go win championships until your arms fall off.
Okay.
All right, next up, let's go to our buddy Kevin the Raider Nerd.
What's up, Raider fans radio? This is Kevin the Raider Nerd. What's going on, Mosh? What's going on, Murph? Swaggy J? First of all, I would like to say thank you guys so much. I'm calling in a week late in reference to our wonderful weekend when we beat San Diego. Beat the Chargers. I was feeling a little under the weather last week. But now that our season is officially over, I definitely want to address that. But first, I want to thank Murph, Mosh. It was great to see you guys in Las Vegas. And I want to thank our RFR family that showed up at the Rockstar Bar and Grill there.
Yes.
And thanks for the respect on that last week, Murph. Much appreciated. But again, Q-Dog, great to finally meet you, man. It was awesome. Michelle Sweat, Lamont, good to see you guys and the rest of the Raider Nation family. As you always say, Murph, there on RFR, that Raider Nation is undefeated. And no matter what would have happened, we'll always be there for each other. And you have created a family here within the Raider Nation family. And I'm very much appreciated for our RFR family there. Thank you guys so much.
Respect.
I also want to give one special thanks to, I want to give a shout out and thanks to Sonny. Sonny was able to allow me to get his extra ticket for the game. It was great watching the game with him. And I shared a special moment, or at least I witnessed one after that game ended against San Diego. Keep saying San Diego. They'll always be the San Diego Chargers to me. But it was nice to see Sonny bask in the victory after everyone was starting to leave. He just stood there very stoic, just looking at the whole stadium. And I had to respect that. I had to give him his moment. And I did it myself, and it was a great moment. But I am proud of the Raiders this year. They went through a lot of crap, as we all know, and we had a winning season, and we made it to the playoffs. Didn't end the way we wanted, but I'm very proud of them. Mayock got fired. Kind of not surprised. Would have liked to have seen him give one more year, but I think they want to kind of just go in a new direction and hopefully work for the future, not just for the now. Carr, I'm always been on the fence about him, but you know what? Bring him back, maybe give him a 3 or 4 year deal. But I still would like to draft a quarterback, work underneath him, have a backup, and we'll see where that goes. Hope to see you guys out for the draft. I will be there. Gonna release the information a little bit later, but I got kind of an important thing going on a couple days before the draft.
A little super fan thing going on.
Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are watching Book of Boba Fett. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Book of Boba Fett and Raider fans, have fun watching it. Don't be nitpicking little whiny bitches. Anyway, go Raiders.
Nice job, Kevin. So for those of you that don't know, Kevin the Raider Nerd, he's a super fan. He has been dressing up like the Mandalorian Raider long before the Mandalorian show was the Mandalorian.
Yep.
And so Kevin has always represented the Raiders and Star Wars to the utmost. And so we want to definitely applaud him for that. And dude, I'm watching Book of Boba Fett, and you know what? Book of Boba Fett could be Boba Fett reading a book, and I'm in. Like, you can't screw that up, man. Like, I know people, and he's right. People get all nitpicky about, like, little things around stuff. Like, just show me Boba. Just show me Tim Morrison in the freaking armor, and I'm in, dude. Like, it's live-action Star Wars on Disney+. Like, let's just freaking go, dude. I think it's great.
Yep.
And so appreciate Kevin there, man, and always good stuff from him. And look forward to seeing you at the draft. And we'll have some fun stuff going on with Kevin, I'm sure. And so, yeah, he alluded to he can't announce. I'm sure he's got some sort of a super fanny Raider thing going on with Wayne and Gorilla and all them, you know what I mean, doing all that stuff. Very cool there for Kevin. So we appreciate you. All right, last call of the night, and then we're going to get out of here. This is our buddy down in Texas. So many great Raider fans in Texas. We call him the Historian because he always offers up some amazing stats and references in terms of Raider history, and he is Houston Raiders Steve.
Murph, Mosh, Swag Jeff Nation, Houston Raiders Steve. Hey, I tell you what, it didn't really surprise me that we let Mayock go with picks like Clee Farrell, Jerry still out, Arnett. The people like you know who I'm talking about. The defensive backs. Even Abram is questionable and everything. Leatherwood, I know he hit well in the mid rounds. With Crosby, he hit well with Hunter Renfroe and other good players mid and late rounds. Robertson, he did well in free agency, but this is what have you done for me lately, league? I picked him to go 10-7. They went 10-7 first time I was right. The only good thing about Cincinnati is Lonnie Anderson and Dan Smithers and the show WKRP in Cincinnati, Venus Flytrap and all those guys. Skylines really sucks. I'm from Ohio. We moved out of there. Get away from it for 40 years of shoveling snow. Man, I'm not saying we lost to the refs, but those guys, man, that touchdown thing, that was questionable at the very least. They should take that away from the referee. He's got too much power. They should, 2014 owners meetings, they said that the command center will defer to the referee. He has the final say so. I think that ought to be changed. What say you, everybody? All I can say is the Raiders are back. We're going to do better. Can't wait till next year's draft and hope Bisaccia has a chance to be head coach. I think he did a great job considering. Goodbye.
Nice.
Good job, Houston Raiders, Steve. All right, so there we go. So those are all the emails and the voicemails for the night. And so when Uncle Mosh is here, he awards the Sizzler Award, which goes out to the best emailer or voicemailer of the night. In his absence, that rolls over to Swag Jeff. So Swag Jeff, who is the best of the best tonight?
Oh my gosh, well, we had a bunch of great calls and emails tonight. Dave in Ohio kicked us off in the emails, making his case for Coach Bisaccia. Of course, before we even got to the Sea of Fans, we had Paul in there with an amazing hour-long segment that it turned into, talking about his season awards and stuff like that. So thank you to Paul. Fargo Raider at the buzzer came in with an email talking about the team did not fade away into the darkness. They fought till the bitter end. It was a great email. Congrats on getting made. Then, of course, we kicked the voicemails off with the Capo. And then we had Kill Jadis, who Macho Man Raider Savage talks Cincinnati screw job, and Kill Jadis explains. And it was great. And Kevin the Raider Nerd talked about all the fun times that you guys had in Vegas.
Oh my gosh!
He gave a special shout out to
Only
Sonny.
Could have been better if you would have been there.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. It would have been awesome. But Houston Raider Steve talks Mayock firing. Cincinnati sucks. Refs suck, but he can't wait until next year. But tonight's Sizzler Award is going to a good friend of the show, a neighbor of ours. She is a sad sack, but she is proud. It is Michelle effing Sweat.
Let's go, Michelle! Yes!
Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler.
Sizzler.
Sizzler.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today!
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Goodbye, Mayock.
I'm out here on my back patio fucking freezing my ass off, crying like a little bitch because I love this fucking team so much.
Congratulations, Michelle. Your freaking call was
so
amazing
good.
tonight. That was so good. And congratulations. I think that's Michelle's first Sizzler Award. She's been around the show for a million
It's her
years.
first Sizzler Award. Is it the first female Sizzler?
Dude, is it? I think so.
She repping the made women.
Oh, let's go.
The maid of the made women.
Oh, let's go.
You know what I mean?
Good job, Michelle.
My
That
gosh.
was fantastic, man.
Oh my gosh,
That was
so good.
That was the best. All right. So here we go on the way out of the show. First off, thank you to everybody that's in the chat. I'm going to leave it to Jeff to shout you all out and to give you all the respect. But thank you for all of you that hung into this show from the funky camera. My camera died. I'm now working on Mosh's camera over here and like all that stuff at the beginning of the show and the length of this thing. And all of you that like are, let me just say this too. I'm going to digress for half a second. all the growth the show has had this last year. It's the most growth we've ever had on not only just the YouTubes, but especially on our audio podcast, on the audio version of the show. Since we've partnered up with Fansided and Just Blog Baby, our show is what they call it in the biz, the hockey stick.
Oh, yeah.
We're kind of growing along, and all of a sudden, pow, the show takes off. And it absolutely did that this year. That's the biggest we've ever had. And I thank you to all of those of you that are new to the show, everybody that found us via Just Blog Baby and Fansided, and also those of you that have been around for a long, long time. Folks like Michelle, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Ron the Mater Raider, Kevin the Raider Nerd, Houston Raider Steve.
Yep.
You all know who you are. There's so many I could sit here all night and name you all.
And Paul says that it was Michelle's third Sizzler that she's received. So every time she's contacted the show, she gets the Sizzler. So other people lobbying for Sizzlers, just maybe check with Michelle via Facebook or something and ask her if she's contacted the show this week, because more than likely it's going to be Michelle.
It's going to be Michelle.
Sizzle.
I don't remember. Well, see, this is where it all blends together, right? Because I mean, we have so many. Yeah. So, anyways, well, congratulations on number 3 on the hat trick, Michelle.
Yeah.
There you go. But thank you to all of those of you that support this thing.
Yes.
I mean, the money we raised this year, like whatever. I'm not going to get all crazy sentimental, but just like we appreciate the very, very kind donations that you give us to the One Nation Foundation via all of your super chats, all the direct donations, the auction items, like everything, man. It just nothing convinces me more than this show and the interaction with this show that Raider Nation is truly family, and we appreciate you and love you all so very, very much. So anyways, I got one stat to hit the button. Yeah, do it. But I got a stat I'm going to leave you with. So Patrick Mahomes, that jackass Kermit the Frog sounding son of a bitch that plays in Kansas City, yeah, he became the second quarterback with multiple games with 5 touchdown passes in the playoffs. You know who the first one to do it was?
Who's that?
Daryl LaMonica. Raiders represent. Let's freaking go. Appreciate all of you tonight. Miss Uncle Mosh and Kathy, get well soon. But thank you so much to Swag Jeff for holding it down over there in the Southern Annex. Brother, we appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Enjoy the next couple of weeks off. And that's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
See you
all you got. See you. Bye.
See you. Bye.
And thank you to everyone in the chat. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Ebony Graves, who we need to make sure we add her to the made man list. She said that she wasn't on there.
I'm going to put it right now.
So hey, Ebony Graves, you are at the table for sure, and we appreciate you and love
I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah, for sure. Parman 1975, Jack Kenna, Jose Lopez with a $2 donation. Says new subscriber. What's up?
Thank you, Jose.
Thanks, Jose. Tune in Super Bowl week. We'll have another great show. Paul is in there. Aussie Raider Aaron, Fargo Raider, Michelle Sweat, congratulations on your Sizzler. Let's see, Raider Cam, YO Raider, Fargo Raider, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Kevin the Raider Nerd, Killed Jadis, Eye Patch, Rodney Jackson, everyone that's in the chat. You guys make the show, not us. You guys, it's the best chat, not only in Raider Nation, but in the whole NFL.
Let's go, dude.
Maybe, and arguably all of YouTube.
I agree.
You guys are amazing. Thank you so much to everyone. Hey, be proud of our Raiders. Don that shield with pride. We did our thing this year despite all the adversity. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. And let's not forget, folks, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. Good night. God bless you.
Good night, YouTube.
Goodbye.
Adios, malingerers.
Well, yeah.